You got it on there? The thing. OBS. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Okay, all right, bet. Yeah, I just got it. All right. Oh, Jesus.
Listen, man, I hit a bitch one time, man, the baby was bouncing all over the bed.
Cut through the texture of pasta, I stretch to the father. My demons can't be stressing my daughter. Sweat Benny Hanna, know it's a rap. Wet enchilada.
Deion Sanders is the greatest football player, arguably, to ever live. Ed Reed, the greatest safety, arguably, to ever live in the entire universe. All right? Why y'all not going on live? Miami been trashed for fucking how long now? God damn.
I like you got up some cases. I like you got up some cases. I like you got up some skates.
I want somebody in the event, something like, say like, I love oxtail. If I can eat some that tastes like oxtails while I'm down there, just for that moment.
He's on my back. You know what I mean? And, you know, I think, you know, I feel like his thing is like on my neck.
I've had two guys.
Same time?
No, I'm not that girl.
Man,
the best
appreciate
motherfucking podcast in Orlando, Florida.
You already know.
We appreciate Sunshine State.
Welcome back. You're back on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. Today we got No Hangover in the building.
What's good?
Yeah, man, he's been
happy
on
to
here.
be back.
Yeah, man, he's been on here a couple of times, man. We love when we have him on the show. And today we got a strong show as always. Of course, we're in the middle of the NBA playoffs. What we got? One or two series down. A few more to go. We're going to be talking about NBA playoffs. We're going to be talking about LeBron James' recent sit down where he's talking about the GOAT debate, NFL draft reaction, and a lot more. All right. I got to start the show off. I'm coming in hot.
Good.
Not going to waste any time.
Get straight to it, huh?
Not flaccid.
I know what's coming.
I don't have any random thoughts today. My thoughts are with my Philadelphia 76ers. Listen, this is what I had to do, guys. I had to stop projecting and start living in the moment. That's what I learned this after the Game 2 victory, okay? After we had the monumental first game loss, and then we won the second game. You know, the Boston Celtics are a better team. They have a better team than we do. They have a better coach. They have a better front office. They have a better everything. Their fans are smarter than us. We're in a play-in game chanting, "We want Boston."
They're certainly more racist.
Philly. We're in a play-in game talking about we want Boston. We're idiots, and that's okay. But I've learned to live in the moment. Whenever we can get these type of performances from our players, I just want to appreciate it in the moment. I know by the time people may even watch this podcast or watch this clip, we may be home or in Cancun. But for right now, I just want to take a second and appreciate the effort and what I've seen. Another thing is also throughout the year, Pink will even tell you, I have given so much praise for a lot of these top guys, man. Nikola Jokic, Shea, Luka, Jaylen Brown, Wemby, all of these guys, they have been fucking phenomenal this year. But my right hand up to whoever you believe in, okay, whoever you go to church on Sunday. When Joel Embiid is healthy and on the court, I take him over everybody that is currently in the league, and I feel confident. My entire bank account is on the line. That's how confident I feel when he's on the court and healthy. The problem is
how many figures.
He's not on the court and healthy.
The problem is
I want to know how many figures are in that bank account.
I'm sure there's some ladies that may want to know that.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Big baller.
The problem is he rarely is, and he just one of the most unluckiest guys in the history of sports. And but just the way he's just battling through and fighting through this weird and upstrained injury, and still showing domination, it really impresses me along with the rest of the team.
Yeah. The resilience is nice. I mean, you always like to see that. I mean, he after everything, trust the process, all the injuries and stuff, he's still out here balling, trying to make something happen, even if it's, trying to make a 5-star meal out of breadcrumbs. But, hey, you got to do it. You got to try.
But, I mean, to the point of what you were saying, though, when he's healthy and on the court, with Tyrese, with VJ, like this becomes a much different looking team.
Paul George was playing pretty well yesterday too. I mean, once he gets going, like once he gets in a rhythm, he's got it to an extent. But that's kind of the problem with a lot of these teams that you get a lot of stars on one team and then they don't play during the regular season together. Then they try to make it work in the playoffs, and it just kind of is like you need that cohesion and that chemistry. And I feel like we've seen that a lot, especially in the past 5-6 years, where let's just get a lot of players. We won't play a lot during the regular season and then trying to make it work in the playoffs, and it usually doesn't pan out too well.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily the reason. The reason is because these are older stars. You want guys in their prime if you're going to be putting these guys together. And the league is changing, so we're going to see less and less of that as time goes on. But that is the issue. The issue is that Paul George was well past his prime. And Embiid for that matter, but of course injuries are a part of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? James Harden as well when he was with us, and we'll get to him in a minute. But yeah, man, and Boston on the other side of this thing, even in their championship run with Tatum and Brown, it's well known they're going to give you a game in a series because they shoot so many threes.
Yeah.
And I thought about this too earlier today. It's like, because you've been, outright about you don't necessarily like to watch. You don't enjoy watching like the Lakers or OKC. And I don't know how someone can enjoy that who is not a Boston Celtics fan can enjoy watching the Celtics, because them, unlike any other team, even though we're in a 3-point shooting volume league and Curry changed the league and all of that, even with all of that, Boston is the only team where they win if they shoot good, they lose if they shoot bad, and that's the end of the day. I was listening to this podcast earlier, Dan Le Batard, and the guy on there was like, yeah, they're a math team. Mm-hmm. That's what they are. They're a math team. If they're going to shoot a ton of threes every game, but if they shoot over 30%, they're going to win. If they shoot below, they're going to lose. And that's been this series. 2 games they shot bad, they lost. The other 3 they've shot incredible, and it's not exciting to watch. I'm only watching because it's my 76ers. Yeah. Every game I'm hanging on, but it's a terrible game to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I mean when teams are taking a lot of threes, particularly a lot of early, like 0, 1, maybe 2 pass threes, there's not a lot to enjoy with that. Like you're just watching a game of horse, basically. I mean, I enjoy the game when there's more actions involved and more diversity of how points come about, and that's definitely something to that takes away. And there's plenty of NBA. I mean, Celtics are at the kind of the high end of that, but there's a lot of NBA games where you're just kind of watching stretches of basketball where it's just dudes dribbling up and 1 or 2 pass, 3 goes up, and they're just playing the math.
That or just a lot of turnovers. Like I've been seeing a lot, especially I've been watching the Detroit Magic series a little bit more closer, but there's just stretches of just like sloppy handling, turnovers, like bad passes, bad judgment. It's just like, oh my God, like I just feel like as professionals, you think you'd be a little bit past it. I mean, I know you're playing against other professionals, but like especially in a playoff environment, it gets a very sloppy very quickly, and then they clean it up. But like they'll go through stretches of like, yeesh, like what the fuck?
Well, that series is like the opposite because it's 2 teams that don't shoot it particularly well, right. 2 teams that kind of pride themselves on being physical, and that's you revert back to the 90s, and it's just a lot of guys dribbling into traffic, holding the ball too long, and creating like a lot of weird problems. Yeah. It's it's not ideal. I mean, I'm big on like playing in space. I hate when dudes just kind of like get too comfortable dribbling around people. It's like if you're gonna go somewhere, like go by them, get to the next level, and then make a play. But to just kind of like dribble in front of somebody, especially if there's any court's not spaced well, you're waiting for a turnover. I just don't understand the mentality of it.
No, 100%. You would have to be just really effing good, and a lot of these guys just aren't anymore.
Right.
But they're keeping the same play style. No, that's for sure. That's for sure. But to wrap up this Boston and Philly series talk, like, do you guys think we stand a chance in hell, like, to win this thing, or at least to extend to a game 7? You know, what are you thinking?
If you get a good, another good Embiid game, because the Celtics don't have any answer for that.
That's the problem. At least back in the day, they used to have Al Horford used to give them issues. They used to have multiple bigs that can trot out there.
Yeah.
In this iteration of the Celtics, there's just no bigs on the roster.
The only concern I have for Philly as far as like Embiid putting up points and having a big game is that in that first quarter he was settling for, like, you don't see him running to the basket. He was settling for threes. He was like 0 for 5 from 3 in the first quarter or something like that. And it's like, I mean, I get you want to space your game out. He has that in his game a little bit, but, like, do what works for you. Like, do what's going to get you points. And then once you are able to get in the rhythm, then, take it back a little bit. I don't mind shooting threes, but to start out the game, 0 for 5 from 3. If he does that in game, what is this, or 6 that's going to be?
It's going to be game 6.
I don't like – I think Boston's going to kind of be in that mode. It's like, all right, we kind of let another one slip by. Let's, put him out of the misery and get a couple days rest before the next series.
Which again, like, the Embiid mentality should be very aggressive and fully recognize you don't have anybody that can do anything with me. I'm gonna get low and just make you guys pay, make you guys foul, and make this game miserable for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, the problem with that is he can't maintain that, and that's a part of the issue.
Yeah,
and that's a part of the problem with Embiid, especially now. In this iteration of him, it takes a lot out of him. Yeah. I employ people to, when they compare, like I saw some people in the first half. I'm on social media as well, and then you get to halftime and you got Shaq and Charles talking about it as well, and it's like you can't look at Orlando Magic and early LA Lakers Shaq and be like, see, Shaq will never do that's what he's doing because this and that. No, you got to look at Phoenix Suns Shaq and say, because Embiid is not, when Embiid was younger, he was winning MVPs and fucking scoring 70 points on Wemby. Like this is not that Embiid. This is Phoenix Suns Shaq. This is how you have to look at it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shaq wasn't doing that. Yeah. And he can lie on national TV all he wants. I remember Boston Celtics Shaq. Like, I remember that guy who stuck around when he shouldn't have been in the league. And Embiid, the problem is, and the difference is, when Shaq could no longer do that, but that's all he knew and could do.
Right.
Embiid has the ability to go to mid-range in 3. But some days, he's not Curry or fucking Kawhi. He's going to be off some days, right? And also, he hasn't played basketball in fucking weeks or months. So he's going to come in, he's going to be off. So I understand. But to your point, when he goes to the second half and he does that, it lets us know, no, motherfucker, you can do this. Like, it's in there, But it was like one time he backed down Vucevic and backed him down right under the rim. And he couldn't even get the ball over the rim, but he got his own rebound and then finished. But his feet barely left the floor. Like that's just what it is now.
The reality of it.
But I'm just saying, like, if they're serious about winning, like he needs to set a tone
up
early.
And do it. Yeah,
set it because you don't want it to just be this casual game. He missed a few perimeter shots. Celtics get hot, and now you're down 12. Because you want to set that early tone of like this is not going to be an easy night.
That's how Game 5 started. It was like a whatever type of game. But the thing was Boston was missing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you said, in a game where Boston is hitting their open shots and you're going to come out like that, you'll be down 12. Like,
I don't expect Derek White to have a bad game again either. I expect him to bounce back.
He's been having a bad series.
He has, but I think on this closeout and like especially just kind of in the last game that it was like, oh shit, like he just wasn't really doing much. He wasn't much of a factor. I think he comes out a little bit more aggressive and shots start going in for him.
I'm not mad at
Payne
that.
Pritchard has been balling.
He's been out of his mind.
Yeah, some of the shots that he's making is like, what are you doing? Like, how do you you have no business making any of these because it's not even like he's like a big guy in stature or anything like that. He's just out there just getting buckets.
I gotta look at these stats because I don't know how he's like not in these 6 man of the year type runnings, or at least top 2 or 3. Like I don't know. Are these guys better than? Is Keldon Johnson better than Peyton?
He may have started too much this year to qualify.
With Jason Tatum out.
Yeah, with Tatum being out for the majority of the year. I don't know the criteria for that, but I would assume to be 6 man of the year, you can't start too many
X
games.
amount of games.
Yeah, but it kind of defeats the point of the award.
No,
so
100%.
no, I mean when he's on, he's a really lethal scorer. You know, he's mastered how to play as a small guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's better than him now, but like the dude for the Pacers last year, the other little white guy.
Oh, McConnell.
McConnell. Like,
McConnell,
he's another.
Yeah, he's better than TJ. But TJ is like, I understand. They're in the same mold.
It doesn't make sense. People of that size should not be score first players, and they both are.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing, like, I don't know, like, you know, to the extent, like, I mean, they're smaller guys. They're guards, but they're scoring guards. They're not point guards. They don't do a lot of playmaking.
Right. They're a 2 and a 1's body, essentially.
Yeah.
If Peyton Pritchard, if a team was to say, you know what, this offseason, say if he was a free agent, I don't know, but say if he's a free agent, and a team was to say, okay, I want to make Peyton Pritchard our number 1 or number 2 option. Say a number 2 option, okay? Where could that go? Do you think he could be an Austin Reeves? Why?
No.
Why not?
I'm not too high on Austin Reeves either. I think Austin Reeves is overrated.
I think he is as good as Austin Reeves or better right now. I do.
I think with this season too, Austin Reeves was kind of elevated to more of a. He was flipping between 2 and 3.
That's what I'm saying. If you give Peyton that's exactly what I'm saying.
I just don't. I just think with his lack of size, he's good at what he is. I think if you try to push him for more, you're not going to get there.
Right. On a championship team, he is like a 3rd or 4th option.
Not championship.
Or
I'm
if
just
he
saying,
just goes off and does his
just
own
a
thing.
team. Yeah, just goes off.
Well, yeah,
and
I
does
mean,
his
you
own
could
thing.
go to a crap team and they overuse him and the numbers will probably look okay, probably the efficiency, but he could probably be a 24, 25 point scorer in a situation where he's the guy that kind of has to do a ton.
But that's also in those
But
situations.
you're not winning anything.
But some guys can't do that.
I understand that.
Like the Warriors. What was the guy from the Warriors when he went to the Wizards? We all thought
Jordan Poole.
We all thought we said you know what, Poole will go over there because it's a bad team and he'll average about 24, 20. Same thing we said, and I said the same thing. So I was wrong too.
We didn't realize like what a broken dude he was.
But it's also easier to average.
I mean, he wasn't
the same.
He's
guy,
never like he had that championship year with the Warriors where he was like that rising guy, showing game, and then the next year it was like the Draymond fight. Right. His performance cratered, and then he was gone. Like that broke him, and he's never recovered mentally. He hasn't played any good basketball. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Peyton Pritchard, he's at the height of whatever he is, you know. But he is a very good NBA scorer. He's not too much defensively. He's not a playmaker, despite being a guard. And if you give him the ball enough and enough usage, he'll put up high numbers. Probably as his efficiency will drop to a degree. Because now with Boston, I mean, he's very important, but he can have a slow night and it doesn't kill the team because somebody else is there to step up.
Right. And also when you're not, when you're the 3rd or 4th option, teams aren't game planning to stop you. So when you get to another team and you're first option, the game plan is don't let this guy score. Whatever he does best, don't let him do that. If he's the first option, second option on a team, that's what they're going to hone in on. He has the benefit of, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White on certain nights, him on certain nights. Vooch can come off the bench and give you, a solid 20 and 10, not every night, but he's still capable of that. So when you have options like that, you can kind of sneak through and, drop 30 and be like, oh, shit, like, where did that come from?
Yeah. No, 100%. Now, I want to get to some other series. Like, I want to talk about Wemby, and then I want to talk about the Cavs and the Magic when they I think they're in the 3rd quarter.
They up right now?
At halftime, Detroit was up 6. Okay. But I want to talk about this really quick here because LeBron was in a sit down. I believe it was David Miniman. I could be wrong. And he was talking about this LeBron versus Jordan, the GOAT debate. And he was asked. And basically, in the thing, did you guys see it or hear it at all?
I read the quotes.
I read some quotes.
Yeah, exactly. So he was basically. I was surprised he kind of answered it so thoroughly because it's just been a thing for so long. But he was just, basically talking about their games and how different their games are. And then also, he was explaining how, Jordan is a scorer, he's a passer, he thinks he's a more complete player, but Jordan does better things than him, and he does better things than Jordan, and XYZ, and he went down the line. And, one of my, and also about how, he doesn't believe that guys should be even compared at that stage, right? It's just unfair to both players. And I my takeaway from that is because coming from a guy who I used to argue this debate like all the time, every day, in school, after school, on Facebook, all of that. I was one of the main guys on the front lines of this thing. You understand?
And then you met Will Lee.
And Will took it to like another stratosphere. And he's still at it. Shout out to Will. He's never retired. And and
this interview almost gives Will like, an opportunity
to do it. I haven't checked his page. Yeah. I haven't checked the page, but he's already on it. I'm confident in that. I haven't checked his page yet, though. But my ultimate takeaway was, you're not going to change anyone's mind. I think LeBron James is better. Pink thinks Michael Jordan is better. And we both have our reasons. And you know what's crazy about it is both of our reasons are correct. It's just, what do you value more is what really the debate is. You know what I mean? That is the debate. What do you value more? It's not, you're never going to convince a person who is the better player because you're already in your stable. You're already in your corner.
Couple thoughts. You as the individual person have to make the change on your own. As you grow and whatever, you may decide at some point that this player is better than the guy you previously thought was the best ever, or your favorite player may not always be your favorite. They may retire. You may become drawn to another player and get behind them. So unless you as the individual are ready to be open to it, you're not going to change the mind. But to the point, both arguments are valid. Couple shows ago we were talking MVP candidates, and the top 3-4 guys have incredible resumes. You can't pick it apart, and at the end of the day there's just some sort of intangible thing that you or I or you put one guy ahead of the other, and it's, the margins are so small.
Yeah.
And again, amongst the best of the best, the resumes are so incredible.
Yeah, you're splitting hairs.
Yeah.
And there was a moment that really kind of put it in perspective for me. It was a Thanksgiving. It was myself, my uncle, and my grandfather were all at the table. I mean, with our family too. But somehow we got on the topic of basketball, and the generational aspect of it really got put in perspective for me, because obviously I think that LeBron James is the greatest of all time. My uncle, who was born in 73, who saw Michael Jordan through his prime, thinks he's the greatest player of all time. My grandfather doing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with doing all the accolades and everything that he did. So that really put in perspective is regardless, generational stuff has to do who you saw growing up and what you saw with your own eyes, who you saw play has a part to do with that as well. I didn't really see Michael Jordan. I kind of saw tail end stuff of when he was the Wizards, and I was still very little, so I don't remember. And then really it was mostly highlights and the aura of Michael and all that. But I was able to see LeBron James from the time he got into the NBA until tonight, when he's gonna try and take a first round series at 41 years old. So those things are whoa, shit we haven't seen. The consistency, the level of what he's been doing for how long is for me at least a very big reason why I would put LeBron above, because he has not stopped. Every year it's final or bust. Even when he's, again, 41 years old, people are, oh, well, what does this do for his legacy? It's always something that somebody's trying to either make the exception for, or he's done all this, but if he does this is what's going to make him the GOAT. And it's you said, at this point, if you don't think that he is already, then you never will.
Right. No, for sure. Because the reality is that the best of him is gone.
Right.
We could admire what you're doing at 40 or 41 and whatever. It's impressive, but that greatness is really most associated with the peak of your powers. Mm-hmm. and what you made people feel then. And that's another thing when you're talking about like best ever guy, like it is not always going to be connected to like a statistical analysis of accomplishments. There is something about watching certain people play that just kind of like it just hits you. And again, that's why, who you're watching when you're watching is significant. Your guy's experience with Michael Jordan is not mine.
Right.
Like I saw this shit live, and you're sitting there watching it, and you're like watching this dude come through over and over again, and it builds this like crazy level of trust that he's gonna find a way.
Yeah.
And that becomes like burned into your psyche and your recollection of that player.
Well, I think he has the added benefit too of like his stardom was like when we first really started seeing mega stars and like mega celebrities. I mean, you think about Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, like, guys like Tom Cruise, these action stars that were really like, you had enough access to them where you would see them and like, the TV stuff was starting to boom a lot, but there was still that like mystery and like the like, oh, you're only really seeing them when they're at work and when they're doing this. So like the level of what's the word I'm looking for? I guess like the standard that you had them at, or like you never really saw them when they were weak or down. You're always really seeing them at their best, in their element, doing what they do. And I feel like the overexposure that people have, I mean, for social media, just from 2010 on, is it kind of takes away the I guess the image that you have of them in your head, and it really makes them a person more so than it did, when there wasn't phones everywhere.
And there's no doubt that like Michael Jordan, the Air Jordan show, the marketing behind that, like it created like this image when it was easy to create images in that period of time, that kind of in his case, it kind of like supplemented what he was achieving on the court. And it didn't really feature any downside. But to be fair, back then you did hear like the gambling stuff.
Right.
He had to deal with his dad dying and all that. And there was a lot of like, wild rumors about why that happened and stuff. So it wasn't like there was no dirt anywhere, but you had this thing where the commercials and the branding was such that it was so positive and kind of like, the Be Like Mike thing.
Yeah.
And there was so many elements that were just kind of pushing this guy to like this higher level of almost like awe for people.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Definitely
I think he's the biggest star that the NBA will ever see. I don't think there will ever be a star like that burned as bright as Michael Jordan. Yeah. I was just being born when he was I guess when he went into retirement the first time, but just again the way that people talk about him, the shoes, everything, I mean, even the documentary when it came out during COVID, like it was like, oh, here he is to come save us again. Like there was nothing to do, nothing to watch, but here's this 6-part documentary on the Bulls and arguably the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, I'll never forget.
And it was great. That shit was phenomenal.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I was at Disney watching some AAU games, and Kyle McClanahan and Francis were going to be playing OJ Mayo's team, and it was at the Milk House, and they had the main area was divided into 4 courts, and so that game wasn't starting yet. Just kind of walking around, and then all of a sudden you heard like a noise. And it was like, what the fuck? And then you saw people moving to this one court. And you're like, what the fuck's going on? But it was massive in the sense like there was an actual crowd noise movement. And you saw people like they were running to like a fight or to escape. And it was Michael Jordan's son playing and Michael Jordan sitting down courtside with Charles Oakley.
Oh, shit.
And they're just sitting there. Like he hadn't played in a couple years. And people begin snapping photos. I was with some friends. We made this move to like get down on the floor and like walk past him, and it was crazy. But everybody in that place, at the other 3 games going on, it was nothing but players, coach, and ref.
Yeah.
I think even people's parents left and went to go see. I've never seen anything like it. Probably won't see anything like it again. But that was like, again, this is a guy who's been at that point retired for at least a couple of years, and it was just like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. Just people are reacting to just the presence of this person.
Yeah, no. Just a huge, colossal star. Yeah. No, 100%. Now, do you, does LeBron get any flack for, like, going down this road again to talk about it?
From the quotes that I read, I respect it. I appreciate it. he's kind of diffusing the whole, let's not be fixated on comparing, which you and I have personally kind of been dampening that, for a little while now. And he makes, kind of valid points. We do stylistically, we're different. We see the game differently or whatever. I thought it was fairly balanced. I don't think it was, overly self-serving. I thought it was a fair and intelligent response.
Yeah, it was a pretty PC answer. I mean, all things considered. I mean, and like
I
during.
don't know. I think PC would have been like if he didn't touch it at all.
Well, I mean,
Right?
like at least, I mean, I think the PC part was like, we had, like you said, we have two different styles. Like you can't really compare eras. Like I'm good at this, he's good at that. I think I'm better in these areas, but he could be better in these areas. Like it was no divisiveness to it. It was like, we're both great. We're just great in our own individual ways. However you think of it, depending on how this person thinks of it, I'll let y'all decide. But to me, and then he even said, I just hope I made him proud wearing that 23. So, like, sometimes with LeBron, like, when he starts, going out too much, doing the podcast and stuff like that, I don't really like it. But I do appreciate the vulnerability. And I can at least appreciate that when he gives an answer, it's usually, like, a genuine answer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Two things. I think if he dodged the question too obviously and just didn't want any parts of it, I think that comes off as phony in its own way.
Does it?
Yes,
Because Jordan's been asked 1,000 times.
Yeah,
and he always says, like there is no GOAT.
Jordan gets a lot of passes. I will say this: he gets a ton of passes.
No, yeah, but he's also the long retired guy. LeBron's still active. It's a kind of incumbent on him. I mean, he agreed to sit down and do this. I'm sure that the questions were discussed as far as what was going to be asked and what wasn't. And I think that he took this opportunity to give a fairly balanced answer, to not look kind of fake by dodging it, and to not kind of try and get little, cheeky in answering the question and kind of overly self-serving. I thought he struck a proper balance.
He also did mention in there that, like, whatever side of the conversation that you're on, LeBron James is usually the one that gets shitted on the most. I saw that he mentioned that was one of the quotes, which I thought was kind of interesting that he even, based off all the other quotes that I saw, and then you see that was kind of the one thing I guess that stood out to me the most. But even with that, I was like, I mean, it's true. Like, he does get he's probably the most scrutinized athlete of all time. I mean, if you just want to keep it in the basketball world, most definitely. But since the time he's been in the league.
And I don't understand why.
Because
he's better
been
than
front and center, and he's been better than him for such a long time.
Yeah, but Magic Johnson was front and center, and he was the
Magic
star
Johnson
of the league.
played way less. He played 13 seasons or something.
I mean, Jordan played less too. Everybody played less. I mean,
that's why LeBron. That's the argument I'm making.
But even I'm
LeBron
talking about
being in the league this long.
No. Because that's not what I'm talking about. Even at the peak, even at year 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, when all of these guys have made it to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, he was then the most scrutinized basketball player to ever live. Yeah. So, and my thing is, I don't understand why. Other players have been in the social media era. Other players have had. I'm talking about all-time great players. I'm not talking about whatever. All-time great players have had, if not the same level of playoff, woes or whatever you want to say, have had more. Magic Johnson, like, literally was called Tragic Johnson, but during his career, but post-career, it's like glowing. It's like, some people got Magic 1, 2, 3, and it's that. But that's has been erased.
Okay. But the point is, he came up largely in the social media area in his prime. He was also the chosen one from the middle of high school.
Yeah.
Nobody, like, that's not precedented. That's not a thing. He's had an unprecedented athletic life. And then again, he's not retired. It's going to be very interesting when he finally does retire. It may not be immediate. It may be a couple years. But then I think, like, that thing that Magic Johnson and to a degree Jordan has, where it's just like, we just respect this and we love it and whatever.
Larry Bird, all of those guys.
Yeah, but you got to be
remarks.
You got to be retired for that to happen.
I also think
no way.
I think part of it is too because Michael Jordan was a darling in the media. I think once they saw that LeBron James was like an actual threat to kind of like dethrone Michael Jordan as the greatest player or even be in that conversation, I think a lot of the media people were like, "Oh fuck, well, we can't let this happen. Like, this was our golden era. This was the prime, the peak of NBA, and nothing is going to top this. And once you start seeing a guy that challenges that, people, especially in the media, because they control a lot of the narrative as far as awards, as far as, who gets remembered, how the history is remembered and things like that. And I thought it seems like people just kind of got a little like, oh, well, we can't let this happen. And kind of the higher-ups are kind of working against them in a sense.
That's fair,
maybe
too.
Conspiracy, maybe not, but hey.
That's fair, too. But then why the media, when Jordan retires, goes on this 10-year run of trying to find the next Jordan and labeling they had to label 15 guys the next Jordan. You know what I mean? It's like that goes against that. And I can see that point, but it goes
I think people just contradict themselves. I think they want what they had and like what the glory days were, but like nothing is ever gonna reach, like recreating moments is nearly impossible because like you can't do that. So like you people are just in your everyday life, people will like kind of like reach for those moments and kind of live in the glory days, but then once it kind of vaguely resembles and like right now it's like, oh well, it's not the same, it doesn't feel the same, it doesn't whatever. So like they kind of, all right, well, they kind of building it up to you're setting yourself up for disappointment, so then inevitably you're going to start poking holes and contradicting yourself on what you were saying, even though the same people who were saying the chosen one, the same people who were saying he's going to be the next best thing are the same people that are like, all right, well, you're having too much success, you're too close to reaching the sun, we can't have this, we got to start knocking you down a little bit.
There's many factors. Like, again, when he reached a certain level, it became a threat to Jordan fans. He was like, and then you got the whole thing, and that hasn't gone easily. There is the age of the social media and the clickbaiting and stuff like that. And like, because he's so popular, anything that you write about him or tease about him gets attraction. Right. And so it's just good business to, take shots at him, this, that, and the other thing. There's just so many reasons to it.
I was on just earlier today, and I was going to talk about you before the show. Then we was talking, I was saying I'm going to tell him after the show about some things I wanted to do on the bench. But I was on ChatGPT, and they was talking about, okay, to grow your audience, to grow your podcast, blah blah blah. And one of their comments in there was, okay, this is ChatGPT, like, okay, let me give you an example. Right now today, one of the hot topics is LeBron versus Jordan, the GOAT debate. Tonight when you do your show, you should take one side and Pink should take the other side, and you guys need to fight, and then you need to post a long clip, and you need to post 3 different short clips, and you guys need to take one strong side, and and one needs to hate the other guy, and this guy needs to hate the other guy, and that's how you're going to get a lot of views.
That's the format to success.
I can't do that. If I got to fail in life, if I just have to stay at the 100 views that we're at, it's just not fun to me. It's not.
No, it's not. To take irrational positions, to just argue it to create an argument makes no sense to me. It's intellectually fraudulent.
So what are your reasons for having Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time? Just because I'm curious now.
I'm not as staunch as maybe Bubba had let on. Jordan was the most competitive athlete that I saw in his time, and I'm huge on dudes just kind of like delivering. Right. And once he got to championship level, it was like he just found a way to get it done. Like he played, he was hardly ever injured. If he was, he just played through, and he was just so fiercely competitive. And there's this thing, and I just I don't know, I love trust in sports, and it's just like he could have a bad game. And like you knew there was going to be reaction. Right. Whatever, he was 5 of 28 from the field and whatever. The next game was going to be a 40-point game. You just knew that. And like one of my other favorite athletes of all time is Usain Bolt. Every time the Olympic rings were strung together, this man was brilliant. And like you just got a trust in it. There was a Sports Illustrated article that wrote about the relay, which was the final medal in Brazil. Yeah. And it was like he got the baton, and I can't remember the words the guy used, but it was just so perfect. It was essentially, there was a sense of inevitability. Right. Once the baton pass was clear and he's on the anchor leg, There's
like,
no
there
other
you go.
outcome.
Yeah, no, I
There's
remember
no
that shit.
other outcome.
It was insane watching.
Yeah,
it. I was like,
yeah.
all
And,
right, well,
and that's
we
what
had
I
it because
love.
like the U.S. and Jamaica were like pretty neck and neck,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
he gets the. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
well, that was fun.
Yeah.
You had a little taste of glory.
Yeah, and that I love that. I don't like inconsistency and just weirdness. It's just a huge thing, and Jordan just delivered that, and it was it was just so brilliant to watch, and and you read like the stories and guys that talked about him and stuff. I mean, he had like a level of manipulation to him.
Yeah.
And I mean, he really, to me, he intimidated the majority of the league in a fundamental way.
He was intimidating his teammates.
Everybody,
Yeah.
but the way he carried himself, it was action hero shit.
Right.
Like it wasn't like I'm a little under the weather. No, it was like we're fucking winning. And it just that's all you want out of your favorite.
Yeah, I mean
athlete.
that resonates. It resonates a lot with people. I mean, and I think that's what elevates Kobe to that level. Because to me, in my opinion, I think like his ceiling is about 8, his floor is about 12 as far as greatest all time. But then you hear people kind of start putting him in the top 5, top 3. I'm like, but like the Mamba mentality, the fact that he was ruthless and like he was winning at any cost, by any means, is what really kind of like elevates him in that conversation.
Yeah. Even the Achilles.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I saw something with Gary Vitti talking about that, and he's just like, like he tore it. You had the free throws. In his mind, he was trying to process: is there a way I could continue finishing this game and then worry about this later? And Vitti's like, no. But he goes, the thing is, he could have stayed down on that end of the floor, but there was like a time on injury. He walked all the way back to the bench, then walked to do the free throws, and then memorably walked off the court. And the guy's like, I could get you a chair. And his response to that was, fuck Paul Pierce.
Which, I mean, somebody who's torn both of my Achilles, walking on Achilles fucking is, that shit hurts. That shit hurts.
Well, that's what, like we saw the way other dudes, like, unfortunately, we've seen it all too much in the last couple of seasons, but, Hallie, Tatum, none of these dudes were like walking. They were being helped off. They were writhing. Did
they DiVincenzo? They diagnosed that with a torn Achilles? Because I know he got.
No. It's not.
I didn't see that.
I haven't seen. I haven't followed up and seen. But it felt like that was the thing. But it's just like those little moments that's what that's why I say like it's kind of an emotional reaction that you have to like the way that guy carried himself and handled his business.
I think it goes back to the old saying. It's when you meet somebody, you don't really remember what they say. You remember how they made you feel.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like
that's the guys who saw Jordan, and it's the guys now who are experiencing the LeBron thing. Kobe the same way.
Yeah.
All of those guys.
Yeah.
You caught DiVincenzo before we move on here?
Who suffered that?
I thought it was like a calf strain or something.
Yep.
That's what
They ruptured right Achilles tendon.
It is?
He
DiVincenzo?
Yep.
Okay.
And he will undergo surgery this afternoon. This was 3 days ago, so.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Oh, that's right. I did see Brunson said something about it.
Yeah.
They asked Brunson after one of the games.
Said it sucks to see, but him and Anthony Edwards, which Anthony Edwards wasn't as bad, but that it looked bad. Like when he hyperextended his, that did not look like it felt good.
Yeah.
We might as well move right on into that because the Minnesota Timberwolves, like you said, they're going against the Nuggets. They had a stronghold.
It's 3-2 right now.
Yeah, they had a stronghold on the series, and then you get these 2 injuries. And my takeaway from just that part of it is, I think what people don't highlight enough, talk about enough, value enough. It's a lot of luck involved with these NBA playoffs. Injury luck.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not going to go into like referees and all that stuff, but it's a lot of injury luck involved in this thing, man. And if DiVincenzo and Anthony Edwards are upright, Denver Nuggets are home. I mean, and that's it's no other outcome than that. But now there's a window of light, and I have been transitioned into. That's not a good word. We just talked about
that word, bro.
Yeah, that was. They put that on me. They put that in the air earlier.
Have you and Doc been sharing a Twitter account?
I know, right? But but I've been now I'm a Jokic guy now, but I hated what he did at the end of that. Him and Bron at the end of the last game when they're they're doing their antics because they're up big at the end of the game. It's like, come on, man. this is not the same team that's been whooping your ass for the past 2-3 games, and you're gonna do all of this like you're just this big bad team that figured it out and figured them out. Like, come on, man. But it's whatever. Now,
I'm not big for the antics, really. I think antics are corny.
It's just it's corny.
But both sides, like the over celebratory antics, or like when you're getting beat and then you're gonna get upset and maybe hard foul somebody or act like somebody's not cool because they finished a play like that. All of that is nonsense, man.
No, 100%. Now,
but what I want to say on that though, like what those two injuries show you, and like in other situations too, is like. When you're in these playoff series, even if you're not the better team, if you're the worst team, you've got to find a way to stretch it, make it last as long as it can, because then something might happen. Right. Like your team, Philly, like they're again, maybe we don't have another great Embiid game in us or whatever, but it's like you're at Game 5, you're there. Game 6, get to Game 7, see what happens. Maybe somebody gets hurt. Maybe something crazy happens, and you win the thing. And that's the thing. I mean, Denver was dead to rights. And now these two crazy injuries happen, and now they might have the upper hand, even though they're down 3-2 at the moment. It's but that's the mentality of just staying in the fight and just like making them beat you. Make them beat you. Don't give up, because you make them beat you. Maybe you get it to an extra game. Maybe something crazy happens.
No, 100%. 100%. What are you thinking about the series in itself?
I mean, I think people need to put more respect on Rudy, because he's been the ass of every joke for the past how many years, and now he's locking
5
up.
to 10.
Yeah, I mean everybody. And Jokic is coming off a triple-double season, which I think is crazy that it didn't even seem like he was really in the MVP race. I know, like, in the standings it was, but, like, when you really got to talking about it, he was always mentioned, like, 3rd or 4th, and not kind of like as oh, well, he might win it. But it's like, damn, like, he's averaging a triple-double. Like, it's just not like.
Well, we talk about that there was a late regular season game against the Spurs and Wemby, and Jokic, like, made the plays down the stretch. That was in his mind. Like, hey, I'm going to, I'm playing good tonight. Like, we'll see what the other guy does, but I'm going to play good.
Yeah, no,
I think he really rose to that moment for sure.
Good offense is usually going to be good defense, even if you're Wemby. Which is, I mean, he's incredible. Watching him play is crazy sometimes. Just like, I think it was Game 1 against the Trailblazers that he had, like, in the first quarter. He was at the top of the key, he did a spin move and just kind of, like, finger rolled it into I'm like, it's just like every night he's doing something that is just like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's one of his favorite moves, and that's one of the moves that got him that he got hurt on, and had to miss something.
Oh, when he smacked his head on the ground.
Yeah, but that's just his mobility at that
it's crazy. It's insane.
It's it's definitely crazy.
I mean, when you're making NBA guys, 7 feet, you're making them look tiny as hell. It's incredible. It's really incredible. And like, he really just, like, the fact that he's in the game really just changes everything, because people are thinking twice about driving to the rack, and even if they do, they'll and just dribble right under and go back, try to kick it out, because it's like his range of what he covers is it's unhuman. It's wild.
It's insane. It's insane.
No, 100%.
But no, the funny, if the Timberwolves find a way to win the series without those two guys, like, that's really credit to them.
Well, right, because Anthony Edwards is hurt. He's hurt for a couple weeks, right? So he's gonna miss the rest of the series, huh?
He would miss the rest of the season for sure, series for sure, and then he'll miss like the first 2 games of the next series, and then they'll see where he's at.
Right.
If they were to win.
Yeah.
I'm sure. It's easy to say. I'm sure the Spurs are rooting for the Timberwolves, but there's also maybe a competitive piece to them that wants Denver again.
Yeah.
So they had an opportunity to run away from that at the end of the regular season easily. All they had to do was win the last game, and they could have avoided Denver in this second round matchup. And so they decided not to do that. So I'm sure there's a competitive piece of them that wants Denver for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think also just being young and not knowing any better too, kind of.
Yeah, young, dumb, and fully, you know what?
Yeah, they don't really. I feel like they don't see those things as like, oh, well, we kind of want to avoid this, or it's like, nah, we're the shit. Come, whoever.
Yeah, now they want the smoke, and I'm a Spurs guy, but like I love the way the team is approaching things. I love their togetherness, and again, like that sort of like naive competitiveness. It's like,
right,
hey, you got to beat us. Like,
Right.
whatever that,
Right.
you can do it, you do it. Congratulations, but I don't think you're gonna. That's
100%.
I mean, Stephon Castle too. I mean, he's playing great. He seems to be like a matchup problem because he's two-way player and he jumps out of the gym too.
I
He's
love Castle, man.
they are so deep.
right.
Like one of the other game, the game when they had the big comeback, Fox played like peak Fox. He was great that game. And
Right.
Wemby's had good. Castle's had great moments. Champagne's hit shots. Harper's had some strong game. They are just a deep balanced team. Even Cornette, like he gives them a certain thing. Like when he comes in the game, he'll usually get a couple lobs or putbacks. And
Right.
again, he's a kind of a long guy, not like a great defender, but like he's not a guy that's
He's in the way.
not
He
there.
gets in the way.
In the
Right.
way, yeah.
He gets in the way. In a
it's-
good way.
Yeah, and then you got then Keldon Johnson, who
Sixth man of the year.
And it's just a deep team that's playing connected, and that's why I watch sports, to see stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Harrison Barnes too. I feel like he's kind of a very underrated piece of that team too, because
Yeah.
he has all that championship experience. He's been, he's come off the bench. He started. He gives you good minutes. He's gonna, he can still shoot threes, and he's athletic enough still
miss a
that.
corner three. I don't think I've seen him miss a corner.
Oh, reliable. I mean,
But-
especially with such a young team like that, you need a guy like that that's really gonna.
Yeah, but again, he was probably playing more overall earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And his role is scaled back.
Right.
But again,
With the
he's
emergence of other
seemingly-
players, that's gonna
but
happen.
he's seemingly stayed positive and ready to go when he's playing. Which again, that's
Well, I
that's
mean,
what
he
you want
probably
from him.
saw what he's like. Oh shit! Like,
Yeah.
where? Like, if I just do what I got to
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
like
for
they'll
sure.
take me to the promised land. I'll get
Yeah,
another
yeah,
ring. So
yeah.
he saw the vision. He was like, let me not fuck this up.
Not everybody does that.
Right.
Like some people, the ego gets in the way of recognizing that and seeing that, and they become.
But
a
I think
problem.
playing on a team like the Warriors kind of helps you do that, especially when he did, because they had like two starting lineups essentially. Their bench was another. Like, I mean, they were if that would have been in their starting lineup, they would have been a middle of the pack NBA team, and that's your bench.
Yeah.
So like that, I feel like kind of being in that atmosphere and not being the guy and having to sacrifice, but still being able to contribute probably helped to what he's doing right now and what he's contributing to the Spurs right now.
100%. And again, I like Fox. I liked when they traded for him, but I like it more since I've seen more of Fox. And I think in his own way, although he plays more than Barnes, he's kind of realized like, okay, I'm part of this.
Right.
I don't need to assert myself and be whatever. But like you saw in that game a couple nights ago, that like it's still there.
Right.
Like when I need to do it, it's there.
He was somebody that I thought going into the playoffs was going to be a key X factor as far as, because I still think that the Spurs and Celtics are going to come out of their respective conferences and be in the finals. But I did think that De'Aaron Fox, he didn't really show it in the beginning, but like kind of towards the last couple games of the Portland series, he's starting to show. He's kind of getting a little bit more comfortable and showing that he's gonna be more of a X factor and have more of an impact if they're gonna make a big run. And I do think in critical moments he will, show that, hey, listen, like I don't have a lot of playoff experience, but I am a veteran and I'm a veteran on this team, and I'll show up how I need to. And he's gonna, whether it's a steal or a key shot, whether it's three or taking it to the rack, something like that, he's going to come up in big moments. So I'm still kind of looking for it. Obviously, the first round was kind of a given for them. If Wemby doesn't get hurt, it's a sweep. So
Sure.
But I think as it gets deeper, he's going to his presence is going to be a lot more felt.
What's everyone feel about the Portland guy that was catching beef with everybody?
Not Scoot. So who you talking about?
The Jewish guy, Devi or whatever.
Oh, Avia.
Yeah.
Because of the blog or because of he did.
Well, he got into it with Castle.
Yeah.
He kind of as the series went along, like he was, I mean, to his credit,
Denny Avia. Yeah.
He's a very good player. He plays super hard. And again, that's why he's going to be the guy kind of on the edge of conflict or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was funny.
Another international guy who was coming over here and just played well. Another guy that Washington gave up on. And
he was with Washington?
That's the team that he came from.
For real? I didn't know that.
And they traded him.
They should fire 3 generations of
Not
everybody
just that.
in the front office.
They also picked Sarr over Castle in that draft.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
They that front office, hopefully, and once again another
man, and they traded for all hurt players.
Another black GM who was just god awful at his job.
They traded for all hurt players too. Fucking Trae Young was hurt when they got him.
Yeah.
He started playing towards the end, but Anthony Davis was hurt when they got. It's like maybe 5 years ago, this would have been a great team.
Jordan Poole was mentally broken when they got him.
Trey Young actually wasn't hurt though, and that's the reason why they received all those fines. They were sitting him in the tank, and so yeah. So.
You know what? Going just pivot quickly to Atlanta because of the Sarge. That Rice-Hacker's like not even in the rotation
at all.
Like that's pathetic.
Yeah. That happened about late season.
Yeah.
And I know because I had him on my fantasy team, a team that they just gave me.
That's terrible.
And he just started getting DNPs. And that's god awful for the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
And a guy who has like something. He has size and ability. He has mobility. He's a switchable big. You know, he was a guy coming in as a defensive big, but the problem is he's weak. Can't shoot, and he can't. You know, he's not going to beat any bigs off the dribble. He has no post moves, so that all is going to equal out.
That's
to
from
DNPs.
The draft class from 2 years ago, right?
With Sarr was in there.
Yeah. It went Reichester, Sarr, Castle, I believe. The Castle was either 3rd or 4th. One of them.
I think it's 4th or 5th.
That's such a forgettable draft, bro.
Yeah, Castle's going to be the best player out of that
Yeah,
draft.
for sure.
Yeah.
No, but like I mean that like,
and at least Sarr is serviceable as a rim protector.
but I was saying like Rice-Hacker is entering the territory of like Anthony Bennett.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of like worst all time.
He's
number
entering
1 pick.
that. He's entering that round.
Who else is in?
This is going to be an important offseason for him.
Is there another? To say the least. Is there another guy that I'm missing that's in that like was the top pick and just like totally
Markelle Fultz, if you want to go there.
Fultz, yeah.
Ben Simmons, if you want to go there. I mean, just look at the Simmons.
Ben Simmons, he was all NBA though.
Simmons had some.
Yeah, he was all NBA.
He's more of a disappointment than straight out.
Yeah,
but
you get like when you're talking about Bennett, Rice-Hacker,
Fultz is in there,
and Fultz too. Like these are guys that were number 1 picks that just. You can't even find like a couple year window where they were successful. Yeah, you know, and that's kind of the level of guy we're talking about. Yeah, that's the pathway that he's on right now, man.
He's on
that's
that highway.
crazy.
He's on the wrong highway. He's driving the wrong direction.
I'm kind of pissed at the Hawks though for kind of getting up in the series and now kind of looking pretty soft.
Let's get over there, man, because I'm going to tell you something.
I was excited, man. I was like, the Hawks are gonna knock your boy Cat out of this.
I'm gonna tell you something. I told you last week, Cat is not one of my guys. He's a guy that I champion. But he's becoming.
Please explain the difference between
he's becoming one of my
championing a guy.
Yeah.
And he's not your guy.
Yeah, Wemby. Wemby is not one of my guys. He's your guy, man. I champion Wemby. You know what I mean? But Cat is becoming one of my guys.
Oh God.
He's been the best player in this series. I mean, Jalen Brunson had a nice last game. That's his only game of the series where he played well. Without Cat, they get swept this series. You know what I mean? That's point blank, period. Cat has been their best player, the most efficient player. He's been, he's protecting the rim at a good rate, better than he has in the past.
He's probably protecting the rim, but he protects his own hole.
He's been their best. He's been their best passer. You know, he's a center. He's been their best passer. He's having a really good motherfucking series, but
all for nothing almost.
He's another guy that people just don't like, so you don't hear about it. You don't know it unless you watch the games. You don't know that he's having a phenomenal series, and they're not running their offense through him, which they should. And again, I know Jalen Brunson had one good game this past game. In the most recent game, but you know he was at their detriment and not, you know what I mean, and not the other way around.
Yeah, I didn't buy, because in the beginning of the season, especially after all the torn Achilles, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, people were picking the Knicks come out of the East. I'm like, why are people doing this to themselves? Like, they're gonna continue to do what the Knicks do, and they just they come out hot, kind of.
I was buying it.
I was not.
You thought at the beginning they were going to win the East?
1,000%. Because who else would?
I had the Celtics still. I thought people, like, as soon as Jason Tatum got hurt, they fucking wrote them off. But I also did think.
They got rid of their whole team.
Well, no, that was the combination of events. The Tatum injury, and then when they got to the offseason, they started making moves like they were acknowledging we're not going to.
They did not have Vucevic at that time. They didn't
have
Vucevic.
They
didn't have
that was a midseason.
Porzingis went away.
Yeah, Holiday went away.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, they're just kind of fire sailing a lot of these guys.
I also did think the Magic were going to be like a top 4 seed, but they, that didn't really pan out either.
They were supposed to be Vegas had them as a number 2 seed in the East. I mean, and it was due to a lot of these injuries. So I was like, by course of elimination, it has to be the Knicks. I mean, it's not like because I Pink knows I despise Jalen Brunson.
But also out of the East too, the
mean?
last few years, I mean, you saw the Heat come out as an 8 seed and get to the finals last year when the Indiana Pacers not like really thought they were up and down all season, and then they made a run. I mean, again, I'm not saying it's going to be the Magic, but they might be that team this year. They're taking the 1 seed.
It could be any one of these guys. Yeah. I wouldn't be right now how things are. I wouldn't be surprised if the Raptors make it all the way to the Western
Which
Finals.
I mean, shit. At home, they were that game 3. They were balling.
But regardless of who you thought would make it to the finals out of the East, you knew you had a strong feeling it would be a team that wouldn't make it in a normal year. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It just felt way too open.
Yeah.
It felt way too open. Man.
So many good teams had big issues, and it just felt
injuries
like
and this and that.
We
were on we were talking about this. Right now I wanted to talk about the Cavs and the.
I'm so happy to see them disappoint.
Unless you had something on the Knicks.
No.
I know you said the Hawks.
I spoke my piece.
Okay.
The Hawks are too soft to do anything.
The Knicks are gonna get bounced in the second round anyway, so there you have it.
But I
more Knicks disappointment.
I am here for the Raptors winning this series. I would love it. Yeah.
It makes sense to me. I thought James had one series in him at this stage, but it makes sense.
He might not have it.
It makes sense that they will lose to the Raptors. And I've never been a Donovan Mitchell guy.
Oh yeah, me neither.
Yeah, you know that. I've always been I've been anti Jalen Brunson. I've been anti Donovan Mitchell. I just don't believe that they have what it takes, and they've shown that. Like Donovan Mitchell's another guy who's never been out of the second round. He's had poor performances, and when you pair, and when they went out and got James at that deadline, it was like, oh man, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, all of these bigs, they're going all in. They're going to make the finals and make some noise. And I'm just like, what do you don't know you don't know what guys you're pairing with. Right. It's like right. It's just like you can't pair a guy who has the same qualities as what the other guy. That's exactly what the 76ers did by pairing Harden with Embiid or George with Embiid. It's like you got to get a winner with a loser. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's like trying to make a housewife out of Meg.
The Cavs are trying to turn a hoe into a housewife.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they're trying to do, and they're failing.
I know, and I'm thrilled. I hate Cleveland. Like, there's nothing about that place that's any good.
And I hate after this season, get rid of the fucking big situation. That just is not. That's not going to work either.
Yeah.
Allen and Mobley. First of all, Mobley is never going to be the guy everybody says he is. He's never going to be that guy. The Kevin Garnett. This guy. He has so much value in this league, and I have no fucking idea why.
And the thing is, if he was gonna be one of those guys, we know it already.
We would know it by now. We would know it. And they're really the same person. Him and Allen. Neither can shoot. You catch him on a great day, maybe he'll hit one or two, and they're both like this rim protector. But you don't need two of those guys at the same time who can't shoot, who can't have any post moves. You don't need two of those guys unless you're paying $1-3 million to come off the bench for you, like Cornette. You know what I mean? But to pay both of these guys $20-30 million, whatever they are, is redundant.
Yeah.
Get rid of one of those guys.
Redundant. Bubba, finally using that vocab right.
It's there.
He had a couple rough moments. He did.
Sometimes I throw words out there. If they stick, they stick. What? You know?
Yeah, it's been a dry spell.
But, yeah, I mean, it would be cool to see Toronto come out. I would rather play them than the Cavs.
Who you talking about as the Magic?
Yeah.
Okay.
You would rather play the Raptors than the Cavs?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. Because the Magic are a tough, physical team. They would beat the Cavs to shit.
But we can't. We don't have any 3-point shooters. We thrive on taking it to the rim, and they have, again, even though it might not work in every situation, it works in this situation where they have rim protectors and defenders. And, we've seen – I love Paolo. I think he's great, but – if you crowd him, he doesn't really make the best decisions.
The one thing about that,
Franz stays hurt.
Nobody's gonna crowd him.
No. But the one thing I was saying though, like, ironically, the Magic's guards are not like dynamic enough or involved enough to punish Harden and Mitchell defensively.
Neither are the Raptors.
No, I get
those
what
guys.
you're saying.
Those guys punish themselves.
Yeah, I'm just saying with the Magic matchup.
And I know on paper, but we got to get off paper and go to what actually happens in the playoffs with these guys. And the Magic play a tough brand of a game period, but a tough brand of defense. Jalen Suggs on Mitchell or Harden, he would literally take them out of a series by himself. One or the other.
Well, I think James Harden will take himself out of the series. I think Donovan Mitchell has more of a chance of, because I like Jalen Suggs too, but it's just something about him that like him coming out of the draft, I was happy that we drafted him, and I wanted to wrap my arms around him. And then it's just always something with him, whether it was the injuries, he hasn't really been shooting well.
Yeah,
great. He can fall back on his defense, but even then, like I feel like it's not as sharp as I would like it to be for where he's lacking everywhere else with the type of hype that he had coming into the league.
No, he's not going. I don't think he had a ton of hype coming in the league, but he's not
a little bit of that though.
But he's not going to be an all-star, a consistent all-star. Yeah, he's not going to be that. He is a role player who has a specific skill. What you need him to do, you do need him to shoot the ball better, or he's not going to be able to stay on the floor in long stretches in the playoffs. But he's also the type of defender. He does play well in space. Right, but he does need a guy to key in on, and like right now, you know, when you look at that particular series with Detroit, he doesn't really have anybody to key in on. He's too small to consistently guard Cade,
right.
And they have no other secondary ball handlers that you could say, oh, Jalen is taking this guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? He needs an assignment. Now that's not the perfect situation. It's not like, you know, he's not a Wemby where he can
right.
you know, affect the game and defensively in that way.
You just described yourself defensively.
I need a target.
Yeah,
I do need a target.
For real. Yeah. I was
yeah.
thinking about that.
I need a target, and Jalen, he's one of Bubba's camp. He's one of my, you know, he's on my team as far as defenders. But I know his game.
Where did this guy Kane come from?
Did you see that dunk?
Oh God, yeah.
I remember. I remember him and his name, but I for some reason I didn't know he had that in him. But you know what's funny about that play? I don't know if you guys had the audio on, but once he made that move, the announcer says, "Uh-oh."
Oh, really?
He says, "Uh-oh." And all he did was make the move, and he had a clear, direct path to the hole.
Wait, you're saying the move like
the dribble
closer
move.
to midcourt?
Yeah.
When he got by that guy.
When he got by that
guy.
guy.
The announcer said, "Uh-oh." Then?
Uh-oh. When he had the clear, it was just him and Duren.
Yeah.
He said, "Uh-oh," at that early, and I was like,
so he must know him a lot better than I do.
He knows him a lot better than I do too, because I still didn't know he had that in him.
No, because I was like, all right, he'll probably get up there and maybe lay it somehow or whatever.
No,
I wasn't thinking until it happened that he was going to punch it like that.
Mentally a tough series for Duren. I mean, he
might not survive. No. I mean, like this was a guy that for all year was a very good, a double-double guy, part of this winning team.
Held it down when Kay was injured.
Yeah,
all of that.
And all it was like tracking to be like, you know, maybe a fringe all-star.
And he's going to
guy.
be all NBA this year. He's going to be all NBA this year.
Well, they should pull it back.
I think they should. And I'm not even kidding. I think they should.
Pull it back. Pull it back like
I know it's a regular season award.
I was about to say it's a regular season award.
But this should matter.
No,
like
this should matter.
What we're seeing, Wendell Carter. He's
props
one of the guys I hate
the
most. Not hate, but he's one of the guys I do not.
He's frustrating as fuck.
I do not believe in Wendell Carter at all.
Yeah.
And for that guy to be doing this to you, and then
he's just.
And then for Kane, who is Kane?
He's just pummeling him. I mean, he's getting all sorts of big rebounds, and like when you're watching the game, like you don't feel Duren at all. Like you don't notice him out there.
He's beating you at what you do. Wendell Carter's beating Jalen Duren at what Jalen Duren does.
Yeah.
That cannot happen for an all NBA type of guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I say survive, like if the Magic win this series and he doesn't have a resurgence, he goes into next year like you got to see something.
But it's not even just that point. It's that you got the girl putting up IG pictures every night. His ex, who is Wendell Carter's old lady.
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese is putting up, you know.
Oh, so she was with Duren before?
Yeah.
Who hasn't she been with?
Don't do that to my girl. Don't do that.
Oh man,
she's not in Megan Thee Stallion's camp. She's not on that tree.
She's younger.
She'll that's the trajectory is there.
That's where she's tracking. Not for real, because like I remember when she was at LSU, we played FSU LSU football here.
Yeah.
And she came up on the big screen and she was dating a Florida State basketball player at the time.
Oh, nice.
And then you progressed to Durham, and now you're with Wendell Carter. It's like,
And I'm sure we're missing a couple of
I know. you know who I think.
Yeah. I remember.
So, I mean, she's tracking towards this. Yes.
But I'm just saying, that's a factor in this mentally. Like, that's a factor.
I mean, the Thompson twin, if he can develop a shot, man, the sky's the limit for him. His brother too with the Rockets, because
he's not going to.
I don't think so, but geez, like he's athletic as fuck. He was having putbacks, like he had just one standing putback where it was just the ball went up and he was maybe like 10 feet from the rim and he just jumped and put it back, and it was like amongst all the tall guys, and he just out jumped everybody. His athleticism and his defense is crazy.
I'm still high on those two guys, but I really think for both of them, this was a lost year because we saw no improvement in what needed to improve most.
Yeah.
And here's the beautiful simplicity of it. It's like, yeah, you do all this other stuff. You got to fix one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was obvious last year. And that's why this is disturbing because they knew this last year. And whatever you did in the summer wasn't it.
No,
kind of giving Ben Simmons vibes.
No,
not quite.
Not at all.
I mean, as far as like needing to fix one thing and not
he needed to fix in here too. Yeah. But I had an epiphany like months ago, and I told Pink, I was like, no, I watched this Rockets game tonight, and they're not going to win with this guy. And the problem is when you have a guy like that, when you get to playoff basketball, it's fine to have a guy who can't shoot. The problem, the issue with today is like, if you have one guy who cannot shoot at all, your center has to be able to shoot the ball. Like I think about like the Milwaukee Bucks when they had Lopez, who was shooting at a 40% clip, and you can go down the line with all these other guys. Even Jokic, when he shoots 40%, you can have a Bruce Brown on the floor who, if he hits one, it's a surprise.
Right.
But that's not really what he does. And so when you have one of those guys, but when you start to have 1, 2, 3 guys who can't shoot, it's a problem. Everybody can't hang out in the dunker spot. Right. And that's those guys. Both guys hang out in the dunker spot, and they're terrific defenders and rebounders and this and that. But you're 6'6", 6'7", and can't shoot is a problem.
And you're showing that by not improving
Houston guy's better than the Detroit guy.
Yeah, but by not improving it, you're showing us that this doesn't really matter to you like that. That you're okay to just be kind of what you are, and the best players in this are always getting better.
No, 100%. And Detroit Thompson, I believe his name is Asar. I think he's in more trouble than his brother, because Detroit has to address their shooting woes.
They need a second option, or
they have to address the shooting woes, and they have to address a secondary ball handler, like both at the same time. And that's 2 positions in the starting lineup. And that both positions is in your neighborhood of positions. And you're in trouble, buddy. You're in trouble. All right. Houston guy still has some time. Now, let me see here. What I wanted to talk about. Hold on. We got a comment in. He said Paulo got 45, Cunningham 45 too. Magic still likely lose. Oh, yeah, they're going at it. Yeah, 30 seconds left. Yeah, Magic's done.
What's the score?
Oh, yeah, but damn.
It's 30 seconds left. And
but what's the score?
109 to 114.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, this has been a tonight. Paulo got the 3-point ball.
Yeah, but nobody else really scored.
So that'll be 3-2.
That'll be.
Yep, it'll be 3-2. Yeah,
With
Desmond Bain had 18. Anthony Black had 19, and nobody else had over 20.
With the Magic hosting Game 6.
Magic will be hosting Game 6. They still have home.
You got it. That's got to be. That's got to be a Malcolm X by any means game.
Yeah, you don't want to go back to Detroit for Game 7.
Get the machine gun, get the windowsill.
Yeah. Oh, that Magic game's going to be
Cunningham was shooting pretty well too, 5 for 8 from 3.
Yeah.
13 for 23 from the field.
Yeah, you don't score 45 without shooting pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, both guys surprisingly good shooting games. Yeah. And once again, though, Jalen Duren, whatever, 12 and 9.
What did Wendell have?
And with 5 fouls. Wendell had 9 and 4.
Ooh, he lost the individual battle.
Damn near. Well, he had 3 blocks.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
12 and 9.
There has been a block party this series, though. It seems like
Yeah.
Every team's getting like 15, 20 blocks.
Stewart, during the Stewart, they get some blocks,
Yeah.
man. Stewart had like 6 blocks last game. I like him as a reserve big. He brings that energy.
Yeah,
I like him as a
feisty guy,
reserve big.
combative.
Yeah. I don't know if he can man like a starting center spot for a good team.
No, not on a good
But for a
team.
reserve big, I love him. I do. But I don't know, man, because Detroit and the Orlando Magic match up so well with Detroit, and it serves like the conspiracy theories guys, right, that the Magic lost on purpose to the 76ers, so they could draw the Hornets and take on the Pistons,
Right.
and get this 8 seed. We talk about, is that a good thing to do if you want to strategize that as a top brass? I'm sure the players aren't, but I'm just saying as a top brass.
Yeah.
We saw a team in the West and the Spurs who didn't do it, and a team in the Magic who people believe that's what they did now on purpose, and they do match up well with the Pistons. Maybe they saw something over the regular season like, hey, this we match up well with this team. If we can figure out how to finagle a way to get the Pistons, man. When does the pressure hit these guys? Because they're still a relatively young team together.
I think if they lose this series, the pressure hits now. Because you damn near went wire to wire in the East and lose a 1-8 series. And again, the flaws are obvious. This lack of shooting, this lack of secondary playmaking. There has to be a massive urgency to correct these things and be willing to kind of do anything other than move K to do it. All options got to be on the table. I think it hits immediately because you can't make 1 or 2 subtle changes and run it back.
Well, I think like for those reasons, I feel like the pressure is low though, because like they didn't really come into the season with. I mean, there was higher expectations, but nobody really thought they were going to run the East like they did. The needs are glaring, and you know what you need to fix. So it's like, all right, we know what we need to address in the offseason. We kind of exceeded expectations this season. We have a young core. We have pieces we can trade. If we just address these needs, sky's the limit for us.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. That there is a pressure and an urgency to do those things because your flaws are obvious. And if they fail to address, if they go through an offseason and fail to address them, now you're kind of like, you don't respect the organization. But if they make some, intelligent moves and go into next season with the appearance of having addressed these needs with quality, then it's like, yeah, we're serious. We're a good organization. Like we have this young core. Maybe we exceeded expectations, but we're ready to match whatever we need to do to balance this and be the legitimate contender. That's why I think there is a lot of pressure. If they get through this series and they maybe get to the conference final and come up a little short, I think there was even almost maybe a little less urgency. Maybe we're 1 or 2 peaks, players away when maybe you're 4 or 5 moves away.
In my head, I'm thinking like even if it was like a second round 7-game series exit, but like a first round exit as the number 1 seed, that has to ring alarms.
That's historical.
That
There's only a couple of teams that have had that happen.
You have to ring the alarms as a front office, and things have to happen, and guys have to start feeling uncomfortable. Even I don't care how young they are. You know what I mean? It just has to happen.
It's Michael Jackson time.
Guys have to start fearing if we're going to have a job next year or not. They do. I mean, if that happens. And on the Magic side, I was telling a guy yesterday, I was like, if as a 76ers fan, I don't care about fluke seeds and this and that. We can make it to the conference finals or finals. I don't care what happened. I don't care if every fucking body got injured on the history of the planet. I don't care. We made it. So what? But as a Magic fan, you guys hate everything. You hate the coach. You hate role players. Some Magic fans want to get rid of Paolo. Some of the Magic fans want to get rid of Wagner. It just depends. Everybody wants to get rid of the point guard and do this and that. You guys hate everything. If you win this series against the number 1 seed, the coach is coming back next season.
And that's the one thing
he's coming back.
That's the one thing that I was kind of like, obviously I root for them, but I was kind of hoping that we just didn't make the playoffs so we could just fire the coach, because I'm in the camp of fire the coach, bring somebody in a little bit more offensive minded, someone who's going to, kind of, I guess, a little bit more cachet and stature in the league. If we can't make it work with another coach, because sometimes it gets kind of stale, he's been there for 5 years. We were, on the rides and then took a little dip. Whatever reasons, if we don't do anything next year and kind of stay middle of the pack to playing team, then I'm down for starting to ship off players, blowing it up, because it's like, how long are you going to give the same core of players the chance to try and improve, develop, get better? And we've had 5 years and it really just hasn't panned out the same.
I mean, the parallel between Detroit and the significance of this series is it's the same for both. If the Magic let this 3-1 lead go away, they're going to clean house and do everything. But if they win this, and maybe they're competitive in the next round, maybe they win the next round, and the further they go, the more it becomes, let's just make the small change. Let's try to find just this, and we're fine. And you may not be. And so that's
you may not be. And that's the second wave of that. Because I think it's going to create a false sentiment. Yeah. Because the Hawks made it to a conference finals in a fluke year. Right. And their fans had this is going to be the same way as the Magic fans if it happens the same way. And you take the flukeness out of it and you think, oh man, Trae Young, yeah. This is going to be the small guard that does it. Yeah. And this is the team. Even though it was all because of, Ben Simmons decided not only I'm not going to shoot, I'm not going to take layups or dunks either. And you take that out of it. And I think Orlando's coach is fine. I think he's good. I think he's good enough to keep. Right. But I think the problem is you have inconsistent players and you are a flawed roster. You know what I mean? And you don't have the resources to really change this roster much. You just don't. You spent all your draft picks to get Bane, and you have 2 max players on this roster unless you trade one of them. Yeah. So that's my avenue of improving this team is trading one of your max contract players. Because you guys don't like any of the other players. So what are the other players going to get in a trade? You don't think Wendell or Suggs is going to get a game-changing player, do you?
Probably not.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, at this point, I don't think game-changing. I think it's, again, getting somebody who is a more consistent shooter than Jalen Suggs. I know the defense is great, I was a big fan of his coming into the draft. I was glad that we did draft him when we did, but 4 years into the league now, he hasn't really developed his shot much. He's streaky. He can give you offensive nights, but, he's turning into primarily a defensive guard, and that's great if you have another guard that can initiate the offense and shoot a little bit, spread the floor out a little bit. That's the one thing that they're really missing. Desmond Bane this series has kind of been, up and down, but throughout the duration of the regular season, he was that one guy, but one guy in today's league is not enough. They need something. So if you want to package Jalen Suggs and Wendell Carter and whatever the fuck else for somebody who can shoot and maybe create his own shot a little bit or create for everybody else around him, I'll take that.
Yeah, but then you're going to need a big. Because as low as we think of Wendell, what do you think his reserve is?
Yeah, but I feel like you can kind of pick up a guy in the draft, maybe a guy or two in free agency.
You don't have
a
draft.
We gave up our but in free agency at least pick up somebody and send big guys by committee.
No. I feel you.
If you like that, then again, Wendell Carter isn't really doing anything much, so might as well just see his value is still kind of high. See what we can get from him.
But you win this. That's the irony. Because you win this series and Wendell outperforms an all NBA player, all of a sudden his agent is at the front door. Knock. Yeah. We need some more here.
And back to my original point, that's why I wish we would have just lost in the play-in, and all of this shit would have just been, all right, let's start new, and then let's fucking, whether you're going to ship a player off or fire the coach, whatever, then we could just start fresh and keep it moving. But now this does throw a monkey wrench into everything. It fucking, muddies everything up. Now, like you guys are saying, what if we do make a deep run? What if we beat the first seed? What if we lose in a 7-game series in the second round? What if we win a 7-game series in the second round? Get it to the conference finals. It's like, oh man, like the problem was, the solution was right there, and then we had to go and decide to play together finally at the end of the season. It's like, goddamn.
And again, if you're looking at it from a certain perspective, you'll also kind of Paulo and Franz missed a bunch of games.
Yeah.
And look at this sample size and say, well, this is what we are. This is what we're capable of, and not, the inconsistency of the year.
But there's always pockets. But there's always pockets of that within the regular season. Now within the playoffs, where it's like, yeah, we're all healthy. Look at what we can do, but like we can't stay healthy, and this is what we are when we can't, and this is what it is, and like, the pockets are great when they happen, but they happen kind of like so few and far in between because one or the other is either hurt and we don't have the full complement. So it's like, again, I'm more for getting rid of the coach, letting these core players, this group of players, try it out for one more season with a new coach. And if it doesn't work, then start shipping players off, whoever you want to keep, you want to build your franchise around, and then ship the other one off because both of them have high value and you're going to get players and picks for that. So
the other thing too that's connected with the coaching move though is that like the presumed replacement is Billy Donovan.
Yeah,
who's been utterly mediocre. I don't think that Billy Donovan generates a ton of enthusiasm.
I think he's in the same vein of this current coach, honestly. And I'm a Billy guy, but I also think Billy is looked upon as a developmental beginner type coach to get you to a point, and then you're going to need a guy to take you to the next. I think they're a similar type of level of a coach.
Yeah.
Because both guys, I think Billy is still a good coach. I think Orlando Magic coach is still a good coach. But I do think there is a level above to get you to a title contending type team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also Wagner also missed tonight, which
sure did.
Lends to the point of, if we could, when we have these guys together, we win, and when we don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like, damn, the injuries are just overwhelming right now. Once again, you're still on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. Don't forget we're available on all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We got No Hangover podcast in the building. Yes, sir. We're gonna come back to basketball. I have some interesting type stories here we'll get to. I think they're interesting. Maybe you won't. All right.
Let's hope they do. That's kind of why we're here.
The first is still kind of it is basketball related. It's just on the women's side. Okay?
Hello.
So we
Delightful.
know the whole Paige Beuckers and the girlfriend thing. She actually responded to that, right? So of course they drafted her current girlfriend, so they're on the same team. And she was like, quite frankly, I believe me and Azzy's personal relationship is nobody's business but our own, and what we choose to share is completely up to us. I don't know if I'm naive or what, but I read this article. I didn't know that there was that many relationships across the WNBA on the same team. I know,
there's
whatever.
multiple.
I kind of felt like that was
not only multiple, there are quite a few.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
I don't know. That kind of felt pretty obvious to me. I felt like they're all fucking each other.
Yes, I said they're all fucking each other, but on the same team.
Yeah,
that's surprising.
Right
That's surprising.
They're on the road with you all the time. Girls like the comfort and the familiarity and all that shit.
It's
like this
cost-cutting measure.
There you go.
2 to a room.
You think the teams may be encouraging this?
Cutting costs.
The bottom line.
The bottom line. It's all about the bottom line.
Y'all want more money in the contracts. We're going 2 for 1 on the road.
2 for 1 on the road.
I didn't even know Paige Beuckers was gay, lesbian, or whatever.
This came about last year. When they were both down UConn.
Okay.
Like there was what do they call it? A soft launch.
Okay.
And so
they did it on TikTok or something, right?
Something like that. So that was kind of the thing. So, but I mean, I guess the interesting thing to me is like Ozzy was taken number 1 overall. Should she have been the number 1 player overall? Or
they said it was 3 girls who were in the conversation, but they do say that she's a legit candidate to be number 1.
Okay, because that's what I was like. If you're taking like the
10th or whatever,
8th or 10th best player, number 1 overall to pair with their girlfriend, like that's now what are we doing?
Yeah.
That seems like a recipe for disaster. If it don't work out,
but if it's already prevalent in the league on the same team, then it's probably not the big deal I thought it was. I thought it was a little strange because I didn't know close enough to it that she was like legitimate number 1 pick candidate versus maybe she was the 6th to 10th best player. So that sort of legitimizes it. But like to me, if you reach just to get that person in pairing with that. Like trade down, like do
whatever.
Be a general manager, like not fucking matchmaker. Like, what are we doing? But so yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just kind of in the belief of you don't shit where you eat, and you kind of keep personal and business separately. And then when you start kind of merging the two, and then I guess in this case she's asking for her privacy. It's like, well, I mean, it's kind of hard when it's literally right there. It's in our face every day. Like obviously, as a media member, you're gonna ask questions. Like,
is that
that's what you poke.
Is that a fancy way of saying you don't eat ass?
Keep that. I'll keep that one for the people who need to know.
That's actually a yes, I would say.
Taking a page out of Paige book.
No. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, who cares? It's the WNBA.
Right.
Oh my
Right. For real. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna lie. When that came up on the screen, I'm like, all right, well, I don't know much about this shit. I don't really know who does, but hey, we here.
But Beef
So
Will,
what are
Beef
some
Will,
of the other couples that you're aware of?
They had them on there, but I
You didn't remember one?
No, it wasn't any names like I.
Oh, okay.
I did see recently though, Brittany Griner doing a split in the locker room. You saw that shit?
Nah,
That shit was. I was
glad
like,
I didn't.
damn! Like, oh my god, that shit was insane. Tall ass woman like that doing a split, crazy.
I feel like she's technically past her prime, but I feel like she's still like I don't know. I feel like it was just yesterday.
I was gonna say like, just playing. Is she like a all-star level player in the league still, or she's kind of past that? Like I don't even know.
Well, her and Angel Reese are on the same team now, right?
Now,
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, is Brittany
She's
like
past her prime. She's past.
so
her prime.
not really even like an all-star or anything like that.
That's a good question. I don't.
More
don't
like,
know.
as we spoke
I
about
don't know.
earlier, like Cleveland Shaq. Is that where we're at with her?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe Miami Shaq. Maybe.
Still got a title in her.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
real.
man.
Got a couple more left in the tank, but that's
Yeah,
about it.
that's
But
funny,
I mean,
though.
how long has she been in the league now for?
Who? Brittany?
Yeah.
She's been in the league for a little while now. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She was in jail for a little while.
I was
too.
about to say, because that Russia thing, didn't that kind of take a year off her
I did,
career?
Yeah. She was stuck over there. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who got her out? Was it?
I don't even know.
I think it
don't know.
was Biden, no?
It had to be. It had to be our government, right?
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I
who
think it was the
in-
Biden administration that
Okay,
did,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's good though. She was. She all she had was some
Yeah.
drugs on it that she shouldn't have flown with. But
Well, yeah, that was the one thing. It's like, if you're flying overseas to a country that we're not really in good standings with, maybe you just leave the weed at home. Like, I smoke, I get it, but like,
There was a guy.
you can go a couple days without it, no?
There was an American player in, I believe it was Indonesia, got arrested with some weed and whatever. And
shit.
he was facing like some serious.
Yeah, they don't
like,
fuck around with that
crazy,
shit
like,
over there.
20, 30-year sentence. But I think something got worked out where he was able to get back.
yeah,
to
some of those
stateside.
other countries don't mess around.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
fucking crazy.
We're considered soft and weak, and we allow our public to do anything. That's how other countries look at us.
Well, if you're white.
Yeah. If not, you'll be reprimanded.
Dude, there is all sorts of black and brown people in jail
you're
right
right. No,
this
I
moment
got you.
for weird, drug charges.
I got you. That's why I got you on that. Speaking of white guys, you got Ric Flair here. Was on that recent interview. Woo! He says he's actually been with more women than basketball legend Wilt Chamberlain, my guy. 10,000. But
Wilt was claimed 20.
That's what I was
20.
saying. Yeah, he claimed 20.
As soon as I saw this, I'm like, Wilt said 20.
Oh, okay.
I mean, good old Ric Flair's not looking too good in that
But
shot.
in this, they weren't all 10s.
They weren't all 10. Should that matter?
In
Hey.
what sense?
A body's a body, I
Well,
guess.
first of all, you're saying it wasn't even 20K. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
So
well,
he-
Wilt
he-
clearly said 20K.
so technically
Yeah.
he's still.
But
behind.
I am certain,
Yeah, no,
Wilt, it wasn't 2010s. It's just not that way. Like, there's just, there is a reality of sex from the man's perspective, I think, that, like, if it's there, you're going to take it. You're not worrying about. You might not go below 5.
Yeah.
But
Men
there's a
definitely have lower
reality.
standards. Yeah, if it's,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, if somebody
depending on the moment.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Right.
saying. Like, you're on the road, somebody's throwing it at you. Like, sure.
That's crazy. Sure. I guess.
Hey, for real. I mean, that's true. That men definitely are like, yeah. It's better than nothing. So nothing else around, and most of the times those girls will keep it hush hush too. So you even got to worry about your rep getting stained or anything like that, or none of that shit. You can still maintain big boss, big player, and keep it moving.
Only thing getting stained is your sheets.
You can wash those out though. So there you go.
Damn, who was that on the podcast? It was
It's Bubba's friend from back in the day who put his
Oh shit! Oh fuck!
those are straight to the trash.
It was a Megan Good and somebody else. It was another woman. Fuck. She played. I got it in my head, but anyway, they were talking, just them two, and she was saying how she just wished the dudes that she fooled with, wouldn't basically wasn't so loudmouth about it or whatever.
Like pillow talking and shit.
Yeah, pillow talking. And she said that's why she kind of shy away from a lot of dudes, because what she was saying was, now that she's out of the marriage and all of that, she wants to be free. And
Fair
do
enough.
all of that. But
Wait a minute, Megan Good.
No, it wasn't Megan Good talking. Megan Good was kind of like the conductor of the interview.
Oh, okay.
But it's
So who's this girl though?
I know, man. She's
was-
another actress.
She was married for a while and now she's not.
Yeah,
what we're saying.
she's single and she's
Okay.
but she's older, whatever, late 40s or whatever.
Oh.
And
Younger than Angela Bassett.
Yeah. And she was just saying how she's out here, she's on the dating scene, and she likes younger guys, not too much younger, but younger than her. But they just
that was Nia Long.
Nia Long, boom.
Nia Long.
There you go.
Yeah.
She was just in the Michael movie, wasn't she? She was the mom.
I haven't seen my.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was the mom.
Okay.
Well, Nia Long, she's getting plowed by MA.
That was her.
Yeah.
And then got cheated on.
Now she's back out
Yeah,
and finding
there you
young
go.
dudes.
Yeah.
Go smash a
On
few
the prowl.
rockets.
On the prowl.
Sticking to him, mate.
Except for KD because he's old.
He doesn't meet the threshold.
Take on.
Hey, Jalen Green would have been a prime candidate
He's
if he
not a
was still
Rocket
there. I
anymore.
know. I'm just saying, if he was still there.
I think I'd go with the Thompson twin.
Thompson twin.
Maybe.
And she
maybe
can even
nice
get
selection.
some.
Maybe a little-
Where's Alfred Şengün
I
from?
was
She can
gonna
get
say-
some international
I
love
was gonna
too.
say, maybe a little threesome with Sengun.
Yeah, he's young enough.
Little Eiffel Tower.
There you go.
Homage to Paris.
Shit.
Here
And guess what?
yeah,
Those
somebody-
guys won't say a word.
Nah.
NDMA, fucking NDAs.
Yeah, that's good for her though.
No, it is. I think it is. Here was another one that.
Oh wait, let's go back
go
to
ahead.
Ric Flair though.
Oh, go ahead.
So I don't doubt that he has a big number though, because if you think about wrestling, like they were on the road a ton,
Yeah.
like and especially like in his heyday, he was probably on the road like probably maybe 250 nights a year.
Yeah.
you're
That's how
in
they
some
made their money.
Yeah, and you're in some random town. You just
They're the biggest star, and especially in these
Yeah.
little towns. You're the biggest name in the town, so
Yeah,
it's like he probably had the whole when he would go
That's what I'm
out.
saying, like,
Because
you
especially he's been going on podcasts and been talking about his benders and his drinking days and all
and,
that.
and
so.
that's what those guys did. Those old school wrestlers. It was like you'd wrestle, drink, and then nab whatever was left. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's hilarious, man.
Bubba, you would have made a good wrestler back in
I
the
think
day.
so. I think I would have been a fine wrestler.
little wrestling for Bubba.
Oh, shit.
That's it, man.
Me and The Rock would have been doing 2 a days.
Maybe a 2-man, but
2 man.
2 a days.
We would have been on 2 mans, 2 a days. This is another quick one that Ant sent me here. So, woman throws dynamite into boyfriend's bedroom while he was asleep, causing him to lose hands. So I looked this up, right?
Who has dynamite?
That's
these
like
days?
some
the
fucking
fuck has
Looney Tunes
dynamite?
shit.
I thought this was like a fake story, so I looked into it. It's a major story. It's everywhere. So this was in New York. And so how the story goes is she was like threatening him over time with like, I'll fuck you up with some dynamite. And he just brushed it off. This is him telling the police this, and he would just brush it off. And now what I could not find is what he did for
to
this.
get all this. Yeah,
I don't know whether he was cheating or whether he was cussing her out or whatever.
maybe he didn't put the toilet seat down.
It's possible.
Shit.
Yeah. So,
Like,
so
I wish it was not like clear that she did it and had to investigate, because like, you know, be like one of those like Law and Order things. It's like, who sells this brand of dynamite?
you go around
There's only 3 possible locations in the tri-state area.
So what happened was he woke up because he heard the hissing sound. This
Fuse
what
going.
he's saying. He heard the fuse going.
Dynamite is like from cartoons, man.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's like some
It's
Looney Tunes.
crazy.
fucking
It's nuts, man.
Wile E. Coyote, fucking Yosemite Sam throwing that shit and covering their ears.
That's what I'm thinking about. Or
This is even
when they had
funnier,
the
though.
thing when you would press it down the plastic.
The
What's
detonator,
what's even funnier to me is that he gets up and he tries to detonate it. Not detonate, but whatever the word is. He tries to defuse it first.
Really?
He tries to defuse it, sees that he can't, and so he wants to throw it, far across the room, but while he's throwing it, that's when it detonates.
He wasted valuable time trying to defuse
He wasted
it.
valuable time.
He's got to own that, man.
and as he threw it, he said that's when it droom and it and his
What's his
he
name?
looked
If
up,
he didn't
Jason
waste that,
Pierre-Paul,
his entire hand was gone.
no, yeah,
Entire
Jason
hand.
Pierre-Paul has a couple fingers.
Ooh,
No.
my
Yeah,
God.
This guy entire hand. His
You
entire
know-
hand was gone.
That's on him, man.
Oh my God.
If you got a chance, you just throw it back at her.
I'm not.
Maybe
picking,
she
I'm
loses
not
a foot.
picking it up, but he says when he picked it up and threw it, and then when he lost his hand, he was up. She was outside running, like running away.
Yeah,
So
she
was
she
still
had the
in
right
area.
idea. She's-
But like I'm not picking it up at all. It's hissing. I'm up. I'm running out. I'm right behind her. What's the pick it up move? What is that about?
Well, no, okay. You have 2 choices. You could pick it up and hurl it back at her. But that's got to be on like that.
quick.
No, we're not trying to defuse nothing. We're just throwing the shit back. And the other one is to either run or take cover. Like I
Throw
don't know
a
the
mattress
situation.
on top of that
like,
shit.
Yeah, you could have
something
thrown a
like,
mat or
yeah.
jumped on the other side of the bed and
Yeah.
just like put the mattress over you.
But
Like,
can't you like pull out the fuse or like?
well, I ain't trying to do
That's
all
what
that.
he's trying. That's what he's trying to figure
That was-
out.
and
That's
it
what he's trying to figure
cost him a hand.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Fuck, that would have been me then.
You got to think too. If he was throwing, it was also his jerk off hand.
Yeah, got to be the
tough.
strong hand. Got to be the strong
That's
hand.
tough. Yeah.
So now you got to learn a whole new technique.
Yeah.
Well, really, they're going to give him a
Years.
plastic hand.
You want to whack off with a plastic hand?
I mean,
I never tried.
Is that one of your fetishes?
they probably have Star Wars animatronic hands now at this point.
I just,
Probably so.
be that as it may, I don't think it's.
You want AI jacking you off?
No, that's what I need a regular hand, my own.
I mean, I don't know. I never had
I
it.
know he put in time with that hand, and now it's in an instant it's gone. All the
I
time
know,
put
that's what I'm
in,
saying.
shit.
Years of training, all down the drain.
The bond and camaraderie that you build.
Yeah,
But that's nuts though. And then she gets I think they sentenced her like this week. I think she's getting 25 or something like that, 25, 30 years.
throwing her to the jail. But timeout though, like.
Getting dynamite too, that is like diabolical shit. Like you really have like to think this shit out. And like,
But I also feel like dynamite is not. It's
deadly.
not the best way.
Right.
Because
Right.
again, if it explodes while he's throwing it and
it just fucks
basically
his
it
hand
costs
up,
his
yeah.
hand up, what was your plan anyway?
I'm
don't
sure
think
she
it was
didn't really have much of
It
one.
might have not been
Honestly.
to kill
No,
him.
but
I
what
don't
I'm
think
saying-
she might have not didn't want to kill him.
But
She
that's
just wanted to show him that I could fuck you up.
dude, that's crazy. So I mean, like again, like dynamite
Oh,
is not
shit.
at Publix or anything. So it's like you had to put in extra effort
You
to
had to go
find the
out of your way.
dynamite
Yeah, you had to
to
go out
get
of
an
your
ineffective murder weapon. Like, come on.
Like I said, maybe like
Tighten
you said,
up
she
your
was just trying to
game.
prove a point
She's trying to
and
prove
just
a point.
scare him,
What?
keep
I
him
mean,
in fear,
I don't get it, man. It's just
assert her
shitty.
dominance. I don't know.
Now, if she was
Man, assert no
if she
dominance.
was threatening him multiple times over the course that she had this, to me that means that she knows someone that sells this dynamite.
for sure.
I think that can
It's got to
lead
be
back
like
to
an
that
old timey
person.
like 20s.
Is they get a
If you're
co-conspirator?
if you're the person who sells the dynamite, why would you sell it to her knowing that she's just going to fuck up her boyfriend? That can
Why
lead up to you
she
quick.
didn't say that. I thought she was going to do some demolition work around the house.
You got a 32-year-old, black woman coming to you for Dynamite. Well, how many? What is she doing here?
Like, hey, see how many sticks of dynamite do you need? Hey, that's probably the guy sounded like something. That shit.
What else could she be doing?
So, all right,
Come on.
so black women don't hang themselves.
No.
But if they're looking for dynamite, we know what that's for.
They know where to go, I guess. Fuck.
Nowhere to go.
That's wild, though. Like, yeah, shout out to her for a good story. Dude, the trying to defuse, just throw it back. Come on.
And me, I'm just not picking it up.
Yeah, probably not. But
I mean, what part of New York did it say? What part of New York? Like, was
It did,
in,
but
like
I
New
didn't.
York,
I didn't
New York
retain
City?
it. I didn't.
Because if
retain
that, then you have those apartments, those studio apartments. You ain't really got nowhere to run either.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
That could be something too.
this feels like a Brooklyn crime.
Shout out to Brooklyn.
I'd be surprised if we weren't in Brooklyn.
Shit, that is crazy.
Oh man. This is another really quick one here. Eddie Murphy reveals he has never auditioned for a movie role in his entire career. I'm the only actor to do this. It makes other actors sick knowing this. I would think Denzel is another guy who wouldn't have to, but maybe not early in his career. Maybe not early.
But
in his
the
career.
reason, I mean, I think that the catch in this is that Eddie was a comedian,
Right. And he
and
built
into,
his
like, the
fame.
Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
stuff. So he wasn't coming to Hollywood trying to be an actor.
was a made
so he
man
wasn't
already.
grinding like that.
Right.
By the time he moved to movies, he was already established guy, and it's like, oh, we just want Eddie Murphy because we already know what he does.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's a difference. I mean, Denzel was an actor. So like, I think
Yeah.
you have to go through that grind.
No,
It
true.
would have to be something. Well, I mean, fuck, did Eminem audition for 8 Mile? I doubt it.
Well, he's probably not labeled as a actor. He did say actor.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of guys like maybe like Will Smith, Jamie. What about them
Will
too, you think?
Smith, Jamie Foxx. No, Jamie Foxx had to.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I
probably,
feel like
did.
he had to grind.
But I understand Pink's point of if you're an actor like Samuel L. and all
Right.
those guys. Yeah, when you're early in your career, I'm pretty sure you probably would.
Yeah.
But like a guy like Jamie who probably came in on the I don't know.
See, Jamie's, because he's like so talented. Like, I don't know, like I don't know like how he started, like truly started, because he has a
Me
musical
either,
background. He
yeah.
has the acting, his comedy. He's got everything.
I think music came a little later,
Yeah.
if I remember the story correctly.
Yeah.
So,
But I
yeah.
don't know. He might have just been trying to like a little bit of everything and see what catches.
See what catch.
I'm fine doing whatever.
Just let me in the door.
I am the most talented person up in this bitch.
When she let me in the door, I'm staying for 30, 40
Forever.
years. Yeah.
Forever.
No.
Plus, I mean, I'm sure there's some type
Until
of like.
Diddy tries to wipe me out.
I'm sure there's some type of like I don't know, maybe some type of code or like procedure with actors that they kind of might take pride in doing auditions and going
Yeah,
through that
true that.
process and you know doing the voiceovers and like sending in the script and all that shit to kind of earn your spot.
Now, I get a lot of Matt Damon on my TikTok,
Okay.
and he like him and Affleck, they were like audition for everything. You
Yeah.
know, and that was just what you do, and like Then I forgot he had a story. I think they got like $600K up front for Goodwill Hunting. They like bought a pair
Classic.
of cars. They bought a pair of cars, and they bought like a
Hold on.
place.
What? How much did they get?
Like it was $600K like up front. Like
Oh, up front.
I think
Okay.
just to buy the story essentially.
Oh. Okay.
And so, but like it wasn't getting made or anything, and it kind of like 6-8 months later, they kind of ran through the $600K, and they're kind of like, hey, we need to get something going on.
Damn. And that was in what? When did Goodwill Hunting come out?
Was it in the 90s? Maybe.
So $600K is taking you
Yeah.
far, and they blew through that shit. And
Well, I mean, again, like you get like the lump sum. It's $600K. You probably got like $380 after taxes.
Right.
I think they bought a pair of Jeep Wranglers or something. Probably bought cash. Like bought like a place, and you're fucking in Hollywood. You think the money's gonna keep
yeah,
coming,
fair enough.
and
Shit.
eventually it did.
yeah, it worked out for them for sure.
Exactly.
No, 100%.
No, it's
But
just a good
after
story.
a while, I know. Okay, so early on in your career, I'm sure you audition a lot, but once you become what you are, like Samuel L. Jackson, when you're writing a movie as a writer and as a director, film director, it's like this is like I need a guide.
Yeah,
Sam,
you're writing with somebody in mind.
You're writing with somebody.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It definitely.
Sam
at
only
some
does a
point,
particular thing.
Yeah. At some point it flips, and the project's built around you, or like even to get it off the ground, we got to get whatever. We got to get Tom Cruise's commit to do this, and then we'll get the money, and then we'll make it. But you ain't fuck. Hey Tom, we need to.
I'm about to say, yeah. We need somebody to save the world. Tom, you're right.
He's top of the list.
He's at the top of the list.
Tom, we want to see a little bit more range from you.
Can you save the universe next time? Not just the world.
Wasn't he in what's it called? Interviewing a Vampire or something like that?
He was in that dumbass movie. Yeah.
There you go. There's some range for it.
Yeah, he was in the creepy sex movie. What was that one called?
Tom was?
It was with when he was married to Nicole Kidman, I think. It was one of those like weird like a Stanley Kubrick movie. But it had like some sex stuff that was supposedly like based upon like real Hollywood ritual stuff.
Oh shit.
So
I'll find out in 10 seconds.
And I think Kubrick died shortly thereafter, which kind of fuels one of those like
the conspiracy stuff.
Oh fuck, they have several movies. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. They have a lot of movies.
Days of Thunder,
The Irish Immigrant, Far and Away, Stanley, Eyes Wide Shut.
That's the one.
Which one? Eyes Wide Shut.
That's the one that it had like a kind of funky sexual ritual vibe to it.
Yeah. What do you think about like actors and actresses who are in a ton of movies together? Do you think they're like friends, or you think they actually smash like in real life?
They probably both.
Yeah, a lot of friendly smashing.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I know like some actors and some actresses, they stay together. Like Adam Sandler has his crew of guys. You'll see those guys in all his movies in various different roles.
And
I think that's cool too.
You got like Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
There you go. That's another pairing. I mean, but they're not. And some of those guys have great chemistry. They're just like, these are my guys. You want me? These are my guys. I know Adam specifically does that. Like, you want me? These are my guys. That's fine. We're gonna find something for them.
Well, they're gonna be in everything. Yeah. Well, I mean, right now you have Kugler and Michael B. Jordan.
There you go.
They're kind of like partnering on
paired,
just about everything that they're doing together. So.
Yeah,
it's good. I mean, I would imagine though that like as an artist or whatever, you would want to mix that up a little bit. Like I don't think you would sit there. I think at some point, like maybe it's like sex. Like at some point, like you don't want to have every episode of sex with the same person. So like let's try something else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe chemistry has something to do with it, especially like in acting. You going into a different role playing. Maybe that. I don't know.
I mean, I could see it, but also I'm kind of like I you don't want to be in every movie of your career just with this thing, because you would want to. Part of the allure of being an actor is you do kind of get to step into different things,
right?
So that would.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Who knows? I'm gonna do a quick ad here. All right. So allow me a second. So anybody in the Central Florida area, listen up. If you've been waiting for the perfect time to get your hair laid without breaking the bank, this is it. Distinguished by K English and Toya Envy, they are teaming up and bringing you Weavathon Sundays. Get a flawless sew-in.
Multiple Sundays this is going to happen?
Yes, get a flawless sew-in or a quick weave just for $100. Come washed, and with your bundle, spots are limited, so don't wait.
You could
book now.
You could get a quickie or a flawlessly sewn in for the same price?
Sew in or a quick weave. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, that's $400. Typically, it could be, upwards of like $190, $200, $250, depending on the person you go to. So this is a great deal.
These ladies are undercutting the market.
There you go.
What about dudes?
Weavathon that's something, huh?
They need to hype that up too. Like they need like a Weavathon song.
Get a billboard.
Good little jingle.
Yeah,
get a good little jingle.
You got a jingle, man, and you gotta like really do it up.
Get a little jingle in there.
Yeah,
might have to get somebody to cook something up. Maybe we'll get Muse to cook up a good jingle.
I think he's got a jingle in him.
He got a jingle in him.
Kind of like Young Luther.
There you go.
Yeah, the Weavathon jingle.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, shit.
There you go. We'll get our guy Muse $100. They're gonna get Muse $100.
You think they're gonna have like a little side hustle with sex toys?
No.
Keep it above board.
Especially not K English, better known as
Really?
Treese.
Oh,
No, she won't be doing any of that.
really? She's a prude.
She's a little prude. She does hair very well, though. She's awesome,
Very unfortunate.
but a little prude. Yes.
Look at lighten up a little bit.
I've known her for 20 years. I haven't yet gotten anything from her. So she's a little prude.
I haven't got anything. I wasn't talking specifically to you, or maybe others are getting.
I know. So Steve Kerr here. Steve Kerr is
Fuck Steve Kerr.
Draymond Green is the best defensive player I've ever seen, and I've played with Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman.
That's an amazing statement.
That is.
Boo.
What led him to saying something like that?
He's emotional. He's getting pushed out.
You think he's getting pushed out?
Well, they're dropping that thing about
'Cause he
how
said-
his political takes are not popular.
I
with the
saw
front office.
I saw that,
Yeah,
I didn't
but
see
then
it.
I saw where it was like he's like it's going to be my decision, and I'm not sure if I want to come back.
the fact
you
that
think that's
that
just
got out there is part of the push.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not getting leaked unless somebody wants it leaked.
Yeah, exactly. And why he doesn't want it leaked, I don't
Yeah.
think.
And think about Golden State as an organization, because they did this to Mark Jackson in short order, though.
Yeah.
They let Steve kind of ride this out.
Yeah, well, he didn't
He's
have the
winning a lot
cachet.
more,
That,
too.
yeah, he did not. Yeah, he wasn't winning rings and shit.
Easier
So.
to ride things out on a ring and a parade downtown than it is to, fucking Mark Jackson's
Yeah.
secret church service.
So speaking of, Golden State may be a prude organization, right?
I'm very disappointed in them.
Yeah.
If this is true, I'm horrified by them. They disgust me.
Mm.
I've largely agreed with everything that Steve Kerr has said in a political context.
space.
Yeah, he's an extremely bright guy.
Yeah.
He's an extremely thoughtful guy.
And
You know.
kind of bold too, because he kind of who like what is it? Him and Pop maybe as
Yeah.
like they speak their mind.
Oh,
as far as
100%.
no matter what
Yeah.
topic.
But and you gotta like realize like Kerr's father was killed by Hezbollah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure I knew that story.
Yeah, well now you do.
Yeah.
He was president of the American University in Lebanon,
Okay.
and his father was killed, like shot to death by Hezbollah members. And like he's like, they were supported by Iran at the time, and he's like, this Iran war is stupid. This is idiotic. He's called it for what it is. He's been on the forefront of like everything, like gun control, just idiotic government, issues of race, issues of sex. He's on front of it all. And like if you're an organization and that's giving you pause, then you're a shitty organization.
I think it's more surprising though that because in California too, I feel like politically he aligns with California politics
Yeah,
a
the
lot, so that would
perception
make
of that,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense that, or I guess it wouldn't make sense that the organization doesn't really, I don't know, like what he's saying.
If that's been an
if that's the
issue,
case, yeah,
for
which
sure.
that's kind of interesting. But
Yeah.
I mean, I thought after the last championship that they won, they should have started breaking people. Which I mean, they let go of Klay Thompson shortly thereafter, but. If they were going to do anything major, rebuild, let people go, whatever, I thought that was the time. I think they're so, like, they're in too deep into the Steph and, like, Steve Kerr and that regime. Like, they kind of have let them overstay their welcome a little bit. Steph Curry, I understand, but, like, the coaching, Draymond, I would have gotten rid of already, like, and kind of recycled and brought new faces around Steph because he's still in the – and it might be a much smaller window now at this point, but he's still in a window where you could win as him as your primary scorer or second option and kind of bring somebody in to alleviate some of the offensive and defensive stuff. But
well, I mean, that's what they thought they did with the Jimmy Butler move. And the reality is
another old guy though.
No, I agree with you. I'm all for young players, but they had that crazy problem. Like, so they won the title with that group that was the starters were the old guard, and they had like Poole and Kuminga and these younger guys who looked promising, and then it just didn't work out. Like those guys didn't grow and develop into what they hoped, And I think that forced them kind of like holding on to the older guys. And then it's like, we got to do some sort of win now move, so we'll go get Jimmy Butler.
1000%.
And it was making a difference. But, like, Steph got the hamstring last year in the playoffs after they got going. And then Jimmy tears the ACL this year midway, and it's just been trash ever since.
But I also feel like kind of holding on to the old guys a little bit longer might have stunted the growth of some of the younger guys.
I agree with that.
They didn't really allow them to – they didn't allow that shift to happen, and they were holding on to, this is what they've done, and not taking away from that, but at a certain point, like, if you're trying to turn the page, you got to start acclimating people and start putting them into more starting positions.
No, I disagree. I think that's a easier thing to say from the outside looking in, but like the guys that see them every single day that are inside that building, they identified at a good time, like these guys, they're not going to be the ones that transition us to anything. Like, they're not it.
You're saying from a team perspective, they ultimately the young guys that they brought in just were obviously not going to be the guys.
Yeah, and I think I think they realized that it depends on how you look at it in a decent early enough or late enough. But they, at some point they realized that and said, okay, we cannot get rid of our older players to transition to them because we're going to be in the lottery every year because they're not the guys.
Yeah,
and then they had extreme unluck by getting the number 2 pick in a bad draft, and and getting Wiseman. Like, that's like
who just literally gave them nothing.
He's out of the league now, right? Isn't he?
I want to say the last place I knew he was at was Detroit.
Yeah,
right.
I was in Detroit. Yeah, he's not there now.
Now, if they get a centerpiece out of that draft, then I think you could fit Kuminga around that, and you could fit whatever. Everything's different, but because of that, and then on top of that, these other guys don't pan out. You're just in a terrible situation now, and everything Pink said now becomes a part of it, right? And the Jimmy was the only kind of move that you could do at that time, that a guy that was available. And now, like, say if you say Kerr, we'll give you one more year and you can run it back with these guys. Then the only thing you could do on top of this is compound it with another old guy and need to go after. It's been reported that they're going to go after LeBron or Kawhi, but I think Kevin Durant. I think this is his last year in Houston.
Yeah,
and so I think KD is back on the table to go to the Warriors.
Yeah. But is he gonna go? I mean, would he? To me, it seems like his pride is what took him out of Golden State. Is he gonna be able to swallow that pride to then come back kind of with his tail tucked between his legs and like? I left you guys and didn't do shit. Here I come back. And
I think his pride is now gone. Yeah, he doesn't have any.
You're reaching this point that, like, and LeBron's there too. It's like you're these older great players, but like, where do you actually fit?
Right.
Where does it make sense? And the crazy part is it makes sense gathering with the other old dudes. Right? It's not like it's just time and again. It's just not the thing to bring in old dudes. I mean, and to be fair, my deep personal opinion is stop fucking around with the old dudes. Like, it just never works. They break down. Right. Well, you go back to like the Lakers when they added Karl Malone and Gary
Payton and all them.
Then they retried it with like Dwight and Steve Nash with Kobe.
Yeah.
Like, it's just never worked when you get like the old timers together. It's just not a recipe.
One last
to win.
rodeo. Yeah.
I mean, you look at the 2 best teams in the league all year, OKC and San Antonio. And they have this beautiful balance of a young core of players, the occasional, and like they don't even have old veterans. Right. Like, their veterans are maybe 28 or 30. They're not like 35-year-old veterans. And again, the other catch you have is, the way the salary structures are, is any good older player is entitled to so much money.
Right.
Unless you get that guy that's just like dropped off the cliff and he's going to be in for the league minimum or whatever just because he wants to keep playing. And those guys are seldom reliable.
Right.
And so it's just not a workable dynamic to build a team with several old players. The other one was Brooklyn when they brought in like KG
from the Celtics
and Paul Pierce together. And that never did anything for
you said.
I mean, they were old. They were old when they were playing for the Celtics,
That's
so they got like
And that destroyed the Brooklyn Nets for so long because they
gave up so many picks to do that.
Much. They destroyed them.
Yeah,
and I don't understand why teams continue this model. It's like you don't know the history of the league that you work in and tell guys like Bubba that they can't do what you do? Like you're not watching this. What the fuck are you doing? It's common sense to a guy like me, but to you, he's like, yeah, I'm all in for this. It's like,
yeah. I mean, there's just so many examples. Like,
so many.
Like, I mean, really, like James Harden's last 4 or 5 destinations.
Yeah, same thing.
You're
man.
bringing in this guy that was
Same thing.
MVP level guy, and he's not that anymore, and he doesn't quite help you win or fit.
Yeah, I don't really see how this is gonna. The next few years for the Warriors are not gonna be good. I mean, even them getting into the play-in and, you know, kind of forcing that single elimination to almost get into the playoffs was kind of like, all right, like they're squeezing as much as they can out of this because, like, what the hell are we doing at this point? Like, it doesn't it just seems like they are very much in like the right now. Steph Curry right now, as long as we have him, we're good. But then it doesn't really seem like they have anything planned past tomorrow.
I agree, but I think kind of like Bubba highlighted, it's like all of the other things that they did, which seemed like good. You know, they had that young secondary group, they had that second pick. Like every single one of those moves has like just fell apart, and it's kind of like this is all they're left with. It's like
I think they had the right mindset. I think they were on the right, but when that shit doesn't pan out, now they're on plan B and C. And
I also
literally
don't
BC before Christ. Those are the type of players you're dealing with.
Ending people playing before Christ.
I really don't like how Adam Silver has put so many restrictions on like players moving and shit like that too. Because it's like, well, then how do you get better? Like you really only have, and I mean that kind of leads into the taking stuff. It's like this is really the only way we can get better is if we draft our own guys. But if we play hard every night, then chances are we're not going to get a good draft pick anyway. So like, you know, he's kind of. Like his mind is in the right place, and you can kind of see like what he's trying to do, but it's like you're not making the right choices or making the right decisions to correct these problems.
I think he's making too many choices.
It does kind of seem like he overthinks shit, and like he's kind of like in over his skis a little bit sometimes. When he's at the podium and like giving press conferences, he seems a little like not erratic, but like kind of like he's just upstairs is like just kind of like there's so much shit going on at one time, and he's trying to gather his thoughts, and it's just he seems very nervous, and like he's trying to make every right move instead of just making the move that needs to be made.
Yeah, and part of that role is you have to project like just an air of confidence. Like it's part of the role.
Yeah,
like you obviously make some decisions and things like that, but there is a figurehead component that if you step in front of the mic and seem to make sense and you seem like the benevolent leader, like that's what they want.
He does not seem
shaken
for real. It seems like he just like is at the interrogation booth every time he's like he's at the podium.
Waterboarding me
for real. Like it's like they're waiting for him, or it seems like he's waiting to fuck up or like say something wrong. It's like, bro, just chill. You're good.
Maybe he needs some weed.
Maybe shit.
He has relaxed the rules. You can smoke all you want to in the NBA.
You can.
Oh yeah,
it's long overdue.
They were doing it anyways. Didn't they just come out with that which I want to watch on Netflix, the Trailblazers documentary with Rasheed?
The Jailblazers.
Yes. I want to watch that.
With who?
It's about the Portland Trailblazers back when they had like Rasheed Wallace and Bonzi Wells.
Oh,
and
nice. I know that.
They had a big run of like arrests and stuff.
I mean I remember that, but I didn't know they had something out.
Yeah, it's a Netflix. I think
know if
Untold.
It's like, is it Untold?
Yeah, it's one of the Untold ones. I don't know if it's like a multi-piece or just like one.
I think it's one. I think it's just one thing.
Okay,
yeah.
I gotcha.
We're not gonna get to the NFL draft reaction. I know you hate when I put something on that we don't get to. But just to end this,
we did talk about weaves.
Just to get to this conversation, what's another one you think they like another story in that vein, right? That's not like Michael Jordan, LeBron, but like the Portland Trailblazers. Like what would you put money into next?
Like a story that deserves to be told. In terms of the NBA or broader?
NBA or NFL. That's where my mind is at. Like I'm thinking like what Memphis Grizzlies with Zach Randolph. Is that something?
The grit and grind.
The grit and grind crew. What about the Orlando Magic? Believe what was that? The
when they went to the finals?
Nah, the Daryl on what was that?
Oh, the 1 year Heart and Hustle.
Yeah,
that's
not enough.
I don't think.
But I'm just spitballing.
Yeah. I think it was only 1 year. it was a little bit of a feel-good story, but it didn't have a crazy feel-good ending. And I don't think there was like a lot of like intriguing
stuff
drama
going on.
Lob City
behind the scenes.
What's that?
Lob City.
Lob City. That might be something.
I'm not getting too excited about those knuckleheads.
But there's a lot of stuff going on. CP3 trying to fight Austin. You got
Blake Griffin.
Oh, that
right?
no! Oh, I was.
There's just a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, bro, I was thinking of the older one, like Darius Miles and those
Oh,
guys.
no.
Yeah, Quentin Richardson.
CP,
No, for real, the CP.
Doc Rivers, all that.
Yeah, the CP, the ouster of Sterling, all that. Yeah, that whole era. Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, no, I get that.
That might be number one.
Even
right
like you could get in like the Chris Paul trade when he was going to go to the Lakers.
They got vetoed.
There's a lot there. I like that. That's a good call.
Maybe the Kobe Bryant little era where it was the Chris Paul move. Nah, you don't want to do too much Kobe because he's not here. That wouldn't go over well. Because I was gonna say that.
I'm biased, but I think more for 2K purposes. They have the throwback teams. I think they need to throw in the Dwight Howard team that went to the finals. They have all these other random ass teams, and they don't have that team. I feel like they have Toronto Raptors teams. They have they have the Paul George Indiana Pacers teams. They tested LeBron, but like, go ahead, show the Magic some love. Show Dwight Howard some love. He gets a lot of hate too.
And I know you're not a Tracy McGrady guy, but I always thought there was the wild irony in him pushing his way out to Houston to play with Yao. And then Yao breaks down, and Dwight was so good
with
the Magic that it is one of those like, what if he just wrote this out and didn't go out that way?
No.
Or was it? Didn't the Magic almost sign Tim Duncan, and then they told him that he couldn't bring his family on the plane?
Yeah,
He's like, all right,
oh
my god,
that was they were. I thought they were trying to finagle. Well, they got Grant Hill and T-Mac, but I thought they were trying to pull off the hat trick of all three of those guys.
They were. The only hang up was the Tim Duncan in the flight, and Doc Rivers said,
and that was his wife that fucked him over too.
Oh, nice.
Tim Duncan's wife.
Yeah.
So maybe Doc Rivers was onto something. He's trying to warn him.
Maybe Doc tried to warn him, and Tim didn't agree.
The only good thing that Doc Rivers is trying to do, because he's got a ring, but I think he's one of the most overrated coaches ever. It seems like, especially with this last run with the Bucks, he got handed a championship team with Boston. And it's like, okay, well, you did what you were supposed to do, but like only one ring with that. I don't know. Yeah. The Clippers didn't do shit. I mean, they were nice, they were fun to watch, but didn't really do anything with that as far as like accolades and no MVPs, none of that. Not coaching any MVP players, none of that shit. Yeah. And it just seems like it's just very like. He has success early, and then it starts nosediving pretty quickly thereafter. 2-3 years after, it just starts going downhill. Whatever, people don't respect him, or it just kind of seems like he's lost on the sideline. And to me,
no, 100%.
He did have a really unique.
Yeah,
run
that's a good way to put it.
Totality, because he had the heart and hustle Magic, kind of the underachieving guys. Yeah. And then he went to Boston. It wasn't easy the first little bit of time. And then when they made the big trades, he got the title. And they were like a fierce proud. They took the Lakers to Game 7 a few years later. And then the Clipper move just never met. And then all the 3-1 losses.
Yeah. And also, too, I think some franchises are just like cursed to not win anything or do anything. It seems to be the little brother LA teams, Chargers, Clippers, that are just they get legendary players, they get good players, they get good teams, and they just shit the bed every year. And just like, because LT is my favorite football player. He's the one that kind of got me into
okay, that's a good choice.
Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, they had good defenses, pass rusher, Sean Merriman, Sean Phillips. I mean, they had Antonio Cromartie. They had all these guys, and it just, for one reason or another, it just always shit the bed somehow.
Antonio Gates.
Yeah, Antonio Gates, Hall of Famer. I mean, more recently, Justin Herbert, they had a 27-point lead, and then I was in Jacksonville that night. I went to go see Cat Williams with my dad and some family, and he was giving us updates throughout the show. And then and while we were walking back to go catch the Uber, you could see the fireworks start going off in the stadium. And I checked the phone, and they came back. It was wild, but it's like, damn, they can't catch a break. Like, it's just like cursed franchises that, like, it doesn't matter how all-time great players they get, they just find a way to fuck it up.
I'm not a Justin Herbert guy, man. He's Bo Callahan for me.
Damn. I'm more of a fan of his, and I like again. I'm not very superstitious, but I do put some of the blame on the franchise. But also, like, I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a big proponent of, hey, if you were to give me Justin Herbert for Jalen Hurts, I'd take that in a heartbeat. And I think that Jalen Hurts gets a lot of credit for the roster and the organization stability that he has around him, but that I think that he's performed like a top 10 quarterback even most times on any given Sunday. Not really. I think he really the roster and everybody else that's around him, he takes a lot of that credit.
We're talking about Hurts.
Yeah, rightfully so, because he's a quarterback, and like like I do think that the top 5, the top 10 quarterbacks in the league argument is a stretch to me.
Well, we'll put a pin in that because we don't have enough time for me to dress you down on that.
Fair enough.
What can it catch No Hangover at, my man?
We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, working on getting on all streaming platforms, so check that out. I'll be back doing the Rawcast with B Raw. Back doing No Hangover podcast, sitting down, doing one-on-one interviews, conversations, things like that. Getting in the new studio and getting that set up. So the month of May, after the first week, should be a pretty busy month for me. So check me out on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more platforms to come.
Shout out to B Raw. I found him through your page somehow. And
me and him have been doing a collab podcast. It's called the Rawcast. We've been doing that for about 2 months now. We got 11 episodes in, but me and him, he's the one that approached me about it, and I was like, that's a good idea.
Is he a comedian, or he just does?
He raps. That's how I met him. Yeah. And then he's been doing a lot of like social media content, and his shit's been blowing up from that. But yeah, me and my dog Nate from What We're All Thinking podcast did an album review on one of his albums called Back to the Features. And then he liked how, I was breaking things down and how I was just being kind of giving my honest opinion on shit. Then we linked up. And then a year later, he's like, bro, you want to do a podcast? And we talk about trending stuff, trending topics through that week. And we post it weekly. Like I said, I've been in between studios right now. And just life is a little bit busy for me. But getting back to it, the studio's up now. So like I said, podcast is coming back out. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. What On the Bench. We'll catch you guys next week.
Doses.
Oh, man.